4 days ago, the USCS Nemo landed on a distant planet at the edge of our galaxy. Twinkling stars, 2 moons, reflected in the shiny hull of the well-maintained ship. 2 days ago, the Rimor 89 submarine settled into the deepest reaches of the soon-to-be-named ocean there. Its waters an Earth-like cerulean giving way to an inky blackness as you plunged deeper within its vast and unknowable landscape. Yesterday, Alder Kopotsky, your head scientist, went on a routine exploratory drive to catalog the flora found on the various rocks, crags, and seafloor, prepping a report to aid in the recon mission a new crew will complete 1 year from now. And this morning, as your submarine covers more ground, you find yourselves on the navigation deck of the Rimor 89, running through your daily processes as the captain leads from the nav panel. He stands at the bridge, tall, broad-shouldered, black skin, black features, a scar over one eye, peering out into the darkness in front of him as he tries to radio engineering for the 3rd time. Fucking Mahone. Must have hit R&R a little too hard last night. Sonar's telling me we need to lift the ship. Pick up, Mahone! The bow yawns before you, a massive window at the front of the ship, as you go about your duties. Tell us, where are you in this room? What are you doing? And who are you? Mark J, we'll start with you.
I am... Oh my, who am I? I am David Plinton. I'm sitting stock straight, looking around. I'm assessing everybody in the room. Who's panicking? Who's calm? Who looks better than me? I'm trying my best to help, but really helping is not my job. I'm just there to assess the situation. I'm about 6'1", mid-afro with a tight fade in the back. Air of confidence and reliability about me. Yeah.
Excellent. Let's see. After that, we pan over to Adam. Adam, what are you doing? Who are you? What's going on?
Heck yeah. We're all in the navigation room,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see a very lanky man. He's about like 6'2", and that is very bad for submarine. So he has this constant sort of hunch. You see, who's my character's name? You see Grusha Dvoryetsky, or Gru. He is mechanic. He is, in a sort of mechanic jumpsuit, like most mechanics, very dirty. He has big big like broom style mustache with everything else sort of like clean shaven or a mix of stubble and things. Beady eyes, wearing skull cap, goggles, gloves, all that stuff. He's very like head focused, and it's probably fixing like 3 or 4 things that needs to be fixed because this is hunk of junk ship, and he is only one who gets things done. So he not necessarily like paying attention to if people are stressed. He is just like going to things and like out of the way, I need to fix it. Okay, I think it was that panel I needed to fix next, and just kind of moving about the room and kind of brushing by people, going underneath consoles, fixing floor panels, putting them back, and etc., just going about busying himself and like sort of mumbling, complaining under his breath the whole time.
Yeah, that is definitely checking out in this moment. As nice as that ship is that y'all came in on, the Nemo, this appears to be a 2nd or even 3rd class vessel. It's not bad by any means. It is serviceable, but it certainly isn't as new and shiny and fancy as the ship that y'all came from. Dylan, where are you? What are you doing? And who are you?
You hear, this ship is only as flawed as the humans who created it. As we turn to Rig, who is an android who has sort of like smoothed out features, like a vaguely humanoid face, except missing, many of the key components there, except for one camera in the center that is a eye for it, effectively. Arms and sort of like other appendages that seem to have individual functions, like gadgets and things on them, and is mostly sticking near Gru. And whenever something that Gru fixes doesn't go completely right, it is there to just sort of flip the last switch, or like do the last little thing to make sure it doesn't completely fall apart. And that is essentially all that it is doing. Rig does not seem concerned with the panic on the ship.
Very fair. Hearing your complaints and likely having some of his own, David, why don't you tell us about your character and what they're doing?
My character, Ezekiel Underwood, is security. And you see a dark-skinned man with a horseshoe hairdo, just bald on top, and he's creeping just past middle age, early to mid 50s, gray hair, and his jumpsuit has like a couple of stains, not from work but more from just not where he's supposed to be. But his weapons are all clean and pristine and in perfect functioning order, and he's by the door that leads out of the room, leaned up against the bulkhead. But you see him tense up, not necessarily out of alarm, but out of fear that there will be work that he will actually have to do.
Very fair, very fair. As you sort of take in the rest of the ship, we spy the final person in this navigation room. Kay, please tell us who you are and what you are doing.
Yeah, so Burton is kind of standing near-ish Captain, trying to focus on their med scanner and just the information that's coming in. But you notice they keep stealing glances over at Gru, almost like they're trying to catch his eye, and then looking at Rig, because Rig is just fascinating, and then like can't really do the focus on any one thing, and shuffling a little bit nervously. They look really young. This is probably like their first real job. They've got shaggy blonde hair, freckles, big puppy dog brown eyes, and are tall and gangly, like 6'3", and just really look so out of place in this. And this is Burton.
Excellent. All of you take in this kind of lull for a moment. You can feel kind of a creeping sensation of stress emanating from the captain. He strides around the room holding on to this nav pad, looking in at all of the options before him. You hear a couple of beeps and clicks and things like that. He taps it impatiently. And you see him try a couple more times, like he's trying to call someone, as he paces back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. As you're all sort of just taking in this moment, you hear a screeching sound, and a shudder passes through the entirety of the submarine. It sounds like rocks, or maybe more metal, clashing against the outer hull of the ship. It reverberates through this vessel. You're not sure what this means, but you do know that the captain increases his pacing. Everybody go ahead and take a point of stress as the captain attempts to rein it in and fails miserably. This is a man who has seen several tours of duty. He is newly retired from the military and taking commercial opportunities now to try and continue to uplift and support his family. He's very by the book and grizzled, very kind of jaded. It takes a lot to ruffle him. And in this moment, the beads of sweat that start to kind of work down the brown brow above his dark eyes belie the calmness and steadiness of his voice. Get down to engineering. Wake Mahone. We're gonna need all hands. So we're gonna start.
Okay.
Everything's fine. You're gonna be okay.
This is totally fine.
Heck yeah.
Welcome everybody to Alone in the Deep. This is Chaotic Wholesome Presents. I'm your warden for today, Candace the Magnificent. I would like to introduce our wonderful producers and cast, starting with Kay Damphir.
Hey you all, I am Kate Purcell. You can find me all across the internet at KDamnFear. And you can find me here, Chaotic Wholesome Presents. I'm one half of this. So yay, thank you Candace for running this. I am so excited.
Of course. Next we have David.
Hi, I am David. I am the other half of Chaotic Wholesome Presents. Find me on Twitter at Full Rubber Ducky. Find me here where you're watching the thing on Tuesdays, where we do a talk show where occasionally I am allowed to say things. But no. The end. The end.
Next we have Dylan.
Hello, I'm Dylan or Super Dylan. You can mirror your pronouns or you can use he or she. Those are both fine for me. I'm just really thrilled to be playing a little robot guy.
Awesome. Next we have Adam.
Hello, I'm Adam, he, him, do the TTRPG stuff, and super excited to be this wacky old mechanic guy. You can follow me at Adam So Wizard.
Awesome. And last but not least, Mark J.
What's the word, beautiful people? Mark J here. You can find me at More the Merrier on Twitter. You also find me at None Shot Podcast, not to be confused with the One Shot Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Which
That's
I
Dylan.
also understand is very great. And you also check me out at Apochromatic Unlimited. We're on POC space here to uplift people color in the TTRPG space. And that's me. Thank you.
Awesome. So today, guys, we are playing Mothership by Tuesday Night Games. Shout out to them. Shout out to S. Murphy Games, who wrote this module. I got it and I thought it sounded really cool and interesting, and I like Deep Ocean. So I was like, let's get it on, guys. And today we're going to be raising money for Extra Life. If you have a little extra to spare, Extra Life is a fantastic organization that supports children's hospitals across the U.S. to make sure that those who are most vulnerable get the care and need they deserve. So please, the Tiltify link is going to be in the chat. Kay and David are going to make sure that y'all can see that if you need it. You can also see information about all of our players today in case you want to follow any of them and support them. And also a big thank you to Tabletop Audio for the music. So we're going to drop back into this story. The captain just stares at all of you agog. Very similar to a dad who's kind of made a suggestion that's actually a request. He has this blank look on his face, like, what the fuck are you still doing here? As he, like, looks at you guys. Engine room. Engine room.
I think...
Sleeping quarters. Go, move.
Yes, sir.
I think Gru sort of mirrors the captain's face and be like, what the fuck was that? Do you know how much pressure they have outside of this ship and then the inner hull? What is happening? What was that?
Listen.
It's
Rig, do you have a report? Do you have something useful to add to this?
Well, it's likely that we'll all die if the pressure in this cabin explodes, and sounds like that could indicate that the pressure outside is building and that we will all be succumbed to the pressure of the sea. I will, of course, remain alive. Just this hull will be useless to me again.
Yeah, okay. Well, we all have different definitions of useful. Are we waking Mahone? Sleeping quarters, engine room. Please. This is not working. Can someone fix this? What are we doing?
I will fix. Gru starts running.
Yeah, he continues to pace as y'all decide to disperse. He continues to pace up and down frenetically.
With a groan, I get up and I Crucia. I guess. Listen, Cornbread, you stay put until I get back.
He said to go do the thing.
You stay
just
put.
don't-
Keep your ears clean until I return. The last thing I need is you underfoot making more work for me.
All right.
And then I would
Waits a little.
trundle out in the, let me check the map, in the general direction
Oh, yes, man.
of, okay, so you said we started navigation?
Yes. So you can take the galley into the sleeping quarters if that's where you'd like to go, or you can go down into the armory and then over to the engine room through there, through electrical.
Ooh.
The captain has informed you that the head engineer, Yvonne Mahone, is likely still asleep. All of you, when you woke up and got your shift started this morning, she did seem to tie one on pretty hard the night before. She was up playing cards late into the night, and just drinking hard, which is part of what you do in Mothership, by the way. If this were not a one-shot, we would be using our R&R to reduce our stress. No such luck today.
Definitely headed to the sleeping quarters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Would I know from the noises and before we heard the scratchy, would I know that the problem was in engine room?
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an intellect check and use your mechanical repair.
Oh, what the? Oh, it gives me a +10. Okay.
Yes. So where you would have a 48, you now have a 58 because of your training.
Ah, look at this. Let's see if Gru got the worst roll you can. 99.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh, first
Starting
roll
off
of the
good.
game. This is wonderful. I mean, terrible. So yeah, Gru, you're trying to kind of get your bearings, but like
Easy.
being a person who's been working on this ship with several iterations of captains, when this guy came in, you really had like a sense of calm and a good presence about him. Like you felt impressed by him. So the fact that he's seemingly breaking down a little bit fucks up your inner kind of thought process. You're a little shaken.
Okay.
You don't understand what's going on, and you find yourself wanting to kind of just go along with the flow. Since you got a critical failure, I'm gonna say you just go with what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Okay, going to sleeping quarters. Okay, that's what I do.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Yeah, may Rig kind of come up to Gru and puts two hands on your shoulders and two other like mechanical arms on your face and is like, do not worry, Gru. I can see that you are worried. You should go to the sleeping quarters. I will check out the engine room.
Yeah, I feel a sense of calm coming over me. This is very good. The cold steel on my face. Yes. Okay, you
I
are
was
right.
charged with taking care of this crew. I don't like it, but I do my job.
Yes, I respect you. You do good work. It sort of just starts mumbling and turning around. He's like, okay, yeah, Rig can handle this. Rig can handle this.
Can I
Okay.
handle it?
You know, that's a good question. Can you handle it?
No.
You think you can.
Uh-huh.
You probably can. Go ahead and roll me an engineering check with your intellect.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't believe I rolled that low.
Totally remember how this works. Oh, okay. So
You're gonna roll your 2d10, 1 percentile, 1 regular. And
Yes.
then you're going to want it to be under your intellect, which is a 53 plus 15, which in my quick maths is a 68. No,
Okay, right. It's that
78?
plus that. 78. Okay. All
not
right,
a math gay.
We can do this. That's a 60.
Ooh, okay. So,
Yes.
Rig, you're trying to show a tiny bit of pity to Gru,
Mm-hmm.
but in your operational systems, you can feel that there's been some kind of compromising of this vessel. You're not entirely sure without going to look at it what might be going on, but there's like a mechanical hum that just isn't there that's supposed to be. Like perhaps something is disrupted in some way.
Oh boy. Can I try to go to the engine room at all, or
Yeah.
is that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely go to the engine room. Are you going alone?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to push pause on you and we're going to head back over.
Okay.
Burton, what are you up to?
I've been told to stay put, so I'm just gonna go up to the nearest console and try to figure out anything I can that I can do from here.
Okay. While you decide what you would like to do on that console, if you look over your skills, see if there's anything that strikes your fancy. David Plenton, what are you doing?
I'm just keeping watch on everybody, but I do see Rig heading out, and I'm going to follow them.
Okay. All right, and then
or accompany them, depending on kind of how I'm feeling.
Okay. All right, and Ezekiel, you said you're heading to sleeping quarters.
Yep. Straight away.
All right.
We have split the party so many ways. This is starting great.
Y'all, it's fractured. Gru, are you going with Ezekiel or are you going with David and Rig potentially?
Oh, I'm going with Ezekiel, yes.
Okay.
Rig reinvigorated Gru's, I don't know, confidence, so he's going that way.
Okay.
Just watch as Gru leave.
Yeah, Gru completely pointedly avoids Burton's gaze.
Burton, what did you decide to try and do in this room?
I mean, I don't think there's much that I have. I would like to use, I have hydroponics. Is there anything I could do to just try and assess, I don't have anything mechanical.
While you're standing with the captain, he barely seems to register your presence. He's very, very, very lost in the sauce. And as he kind of turns on the floodlights on the base of the submarine, you see something kind of in the shadows. There's a bunch of sea life, but plant-like material that seems to be kind of moving and floating in time with the little bits of current that are there at the bottom of the ocean. You do know that I'm not going to make you roll for this because you have hydroponics. You know that there could be a frequency that you could use on this nav panel that the captain is holding, that the submarine can emit, that would, if it's the right kind of plant life, cause it to kind of retract a little bit. Roll me roll me intellect.
Okay.
Just a straight roll.
And I do have hydroponics and botany.
Add your hydroponics. Add your botany because that's a better stat. Add your botany because your expertise is going to you're trying to convince the captain to hand over the nav panel.
All right. So that is going to be 50 plus 15, so 65. Unfortunately, that's an 80.
Okay. What do you say to the captain when you ask to help?
I think just nothing's going Burton's way today. Just nothing's working out. They've been so they're excuse me, Captain. I think I could if you could just I think that it just is not even getting through. The plants. I think I could make them. There's a thing.
There's no time for that.
I think it would help, sir. I don't.
What do plants have to do with this operation, soldier? Civilian.
Yeah, I thought maybe we could get a better visual of what's out there if they're not all up in our.
What
sauce.
I need is for Mahone to get her ass down here. Are you going to help with that?
Well, everyone else is. I've been told to stay put. Everyone else has gone to do your orders, sir. I'm just trying.
Did I tell you to stay put?
No, sir. I'll go. Excuse me, sir. They just.
His eyes follow you the entire way out into the corridor. You can feel them burning in the back of your head.
Yeah. If Burton were a dog, like the tail would be tucked. Like it's just like.
Oh.
Yeah, as you kind of choose which corridor you want to go down, whether you want to head with David to follow Rig, or you want to head over with Ezekiel and Gru, you can hear kind of the echoing footsteps of the captain. And the last thing you hear before you kind of descend down that corridor is a slam. Like it sounds like he's smashed his fist into the front panel angrily. Which group are you following?
I think Burton is just like out of instinct headed towards the research lab, which will stop them at the engines, right? Like that's past the engines. So they're just like they're just like, I gotta get to work, and just kind of find themselves going that way.
Fair, okay. Let's pop over to Ezekiel and Gru. You all move through the galley. It's empty in there. Y'all had breakfast early this morning. You can see Bjorn there. They're a short, kind of stocky, kind of thick person. They have curly blue hair that like ends in like a purpley color. They are a chef. They have big, strong arms with large, muscly and veiny forearms, covered in tattoos. And they're just kind of working, trying to clean things up. They've got a rag in their hand, but they're standing looking a little confused. Like, obviously, they've also felt the shudder. And as y'all run through this area to try and head to the sleeping quarters, they stop you. Hey! Hey,
Busy.
What's going on? Is there an emergency? Guys?
Gru looks at Ezekiel, and he's probably like he's like always messing with some sort of little device on his way to like, it's like a fidget sort of thing. He's always fixing something. So he kind of looks at Bjorn and looks at Ezekiel. He's like, and then just sort of keeps walking, leaving Ezekiel to talk.
And as Gru skates off, Ezekiel finds something to lean on. And does his usual very tired spiel of, well, hey there, sugar. Just listen, nothing to worry about. But what you got cooking for lunch?
Well, I was making some sandwiches. I was thinking about trying to get some reconstituted bread and put that together with some various pastes that I have. I'm trying to be creative with what I've got. I've also got, well, I would call it a stew, but it's more like a porridge sort of thing, maybe a gruel. It has meat in it, though. It's a fresh tube that I've opened today. So, you can dip your Sammy right in there and enjoy it. What would you like? I see you're trying to butter me up. They give you like a little rakish smile.
Well, I just want the usual, sugar. If you got a little extra set aside for me, I appreciate it. But apparently the engineer tied one on a little too hard last night. They don't share our constitution.
Really? Mahone, down for the count, really? She's usually tougher than that.
That's the word. So I'm gonna go give her a little poke in the sack, get her moving, and down to punch in as much as we are all loath to do.
Poke in the sack, you sure do get round. And
I
they give
do
you a
my
little
best.
wink.
I do my best.
They head back into the kitchen, kind of like use a hip to kind of like bump it open. And they smile at you and kind of like flex their muscles a little bit at you. Their sleeves are rolled up over their big muscles, and they have like these beautiful, like very old school Sailor Jerry looking tattoos all over them as they kind of disappear into the kitchen.
And just the biggest, like, most obvious, obnoxious, unappealing wink in the history of winks. Ezekiel gives him a big wink, and then slides after Gru, shuffles after Gru.
Yeah, they're into it. They're very into it. There will probably be what would be a cookie if you weren't on a submarine later for you. It's a pre-packaged situation that's full of protein, but it is cookie-shaped.
That is what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Gru, you get to the sleeping quarters, hearing the slow footsteps of Ezekiel behind you. In front of you, there are 3 rows of double bunks. They're very close together. This room is not very large. Y'all don't have a ton of privacy here. This isn't meant to house you for long periods of time. You're supposed to go down, have your expedition maybe for like a week, you go back up to your much more spacious ship that tucks the submarine up underneath it for you guys to go and fly to the next location that you're going to be exploring. Every single bunk bed has a double locker, like a short kind of locker at the bottom that has the names of the people who occupy the bunks. Each storage locker is like a little metal contraption, pretty normal stuff. And in the back corner, the bunk closest to the wall on the bottom, you can see the shape of Mahone resting in her bunk. We are going to pause there.
Oh.
And we're going to move over to Rig.
Mm-hmm.
Rig, you head down to the armory. Are you scanning the ship and like looking for anything while you're doing all of this, or are you just kind of going straight to electrical and the engines?
I would like to scan as much as I can, and what I would like to do is use my as I kind of a little high-pitched clicking noise emits from Rig, like through a little beeping antenna that comes out of the top of its head, and some little robots, tiny little bots that have been like hidden all over the ship, like sort of come out, and like you might have to step over them as you're getting to the sleeping quarters. They kind of come and Pied Piper behind me, and I have them sort of move ahead and check the little nooks and crannies of the ship and everything as we walk through to the engine room.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your intellect.
Yes.
But add your plus 20 for your robotics.
Great. Okay, so that is going to be 73, right?
Yes, 73.
Yeah. Okay.
That is
Great.
terrifying. I'm just gonna say. This little swarm of bug rat thing with
Right.
robots and you.
That's gonna. I think it's normal. I think it's normal and good.
It's beautiful.
That's gonna be a 48.
48. Okay. So
First success.
as your ducklings kind of come behind you, you can hear this chatter. Only you can hear this. Other people can't hear it. They're speaking a language that you taught them, whether it's code or binary or whatever, right? You have a script that you use with these robots, these tiny nanobots, so that they can speak back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them says, "Hello, what would you like to know? I saw something today."
Oh, of course you did. What did you see?
Well, I didn't see everything, but I did notice some strange behavior. This morning, at 4 o'clock approximately. Well, maybe I shouldn't say. And you see it like dance on 2 little feet.
Oh, little duck, you must tell me.
Well, Ms. Mahone, she had too much to drink. She almost choked on it. That's how much she had to drink. She drank it down in one big gulp, and then coughed and looked dazed, and tried to finish her game of solitaire before stumbling back into the sleeping quarters.
Well, the humans do like to drink, and they do get very stupid when they do. But that seems odd. No one was with Miss Mahone?
No, she was by herself. Everyone else had gone to bed. She was up pacing. I think she had seen our head scientist, Kopatsky, before that. I don't know where he is.
Little duck, what do you know of the noise? Is the hull damaged?
That noise seems bad. I do believe we might be taking on water. Not a lot, but enough.
You've done so well, little duck. can you and all my precious little ducks go and try to slow the water?
Yes. Yes, we can. I will go to the ballast tank.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You've
They
done
s-
such a good job.
It immediately starts to scuttle off. And you can hear kind of this little like tapping sound as the little feet sort of clank on the grates and the other bits of metal as they kind of scurry away through the tubes and things like that to get to where you've ordered them to go. Are you asking all of them to go and try and fix this problem?
Yes, I will have them all go there.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you can receive communication back from these creatures when the ship is fully operational. You'll have to roll to see if they answer you.
Got it. Okay.
You move through the corridor. It's a very narrow and very kind of warm area. It doesn't bother you, Rig, for obvious reasons. You're an android. It's not really hurting you in any way, but on either side of you in this very kind of claustrophobic corridor, there's wires and buttons and electronics, like all the panels and buttons and things like that that control the heart of the ship rather than just the navigation, like on the bridge, are in there. You can see all these different kind of relay systems that you can shut down or turn back on if there's anything you need to reboot, etc. Right? You pretty much know this area. You have all kinds of expertise in computers and mathematics, so nothing strange is really in front of you. And as you get into the engine room, you hear the sound of footsteps behind you.
Do I know the sound of those footsteps? Are they familiar footsteps to me, would you say?
I would say, yes.
Yeah.
One of them a little bit less sure than the other.
Well, this room may not be structurally sound, so, and I will turn around and tear open a piece of my chest and pull out the vacuum suit that I store in there that is useless to me. And I hand it out. At least you should try to protect yourself in the event that this room does cave in. It likely won't help much, but in the event that you survive the implosion, you may be able to swim.
Implosion? You think this is going to implode?
It could. Something has damaged our structure, and we aren't taking on water. I have bots attempting to fix it, and I will attempt to see what's gone wrong here. But if I'm too slow, or there is too much damage already, it could happen.
Why would you be too slow? You're a machine. You're pretty much perfect.
Thank you. Well, I'm having this conversation, and I should be working.
I understand. I actually came with my own back suit, so you can hold on to that one.
Very well. Stuff it back in and return to the job.
As you are kind of shoving that back in, David, you suddenly feel someone just bump into the back of you, like they just weren't paying attention or their head was kind of down and they were going quickly. Burton has caught up to y'all.
They bump into me and I immediately kind of like grapple them and put them in a body lock. Oh, Burton, it's you.
Hi, sorry, Captain told me to go be useful.
Oh. Well, you definitely need this. And I take the vac suit back out and hand it to you.
And just, as with every time you talk to Burton, right, you just see, like, something clicks over and they just turn to fascination. It's just like, oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you kindly. You just rip that,
Oh, this is mostly for structural purposes, and like gives it a bang and it like echoes empty. Most of my mechanisms exist here or in the hydraulics, in the legs.
Fascinating. Well, thank you. If we need this fixed, shouldn't we have Mr. Grew here?
Well, there may be more fixing to do otherwise on this ship. And Mr. Grew was having what you call a episode when he thought about coming here, so I think it's best that he goes somewhere less.
All right. Well, I'm more dealing with living things, but I can, if you need parts or something, I can help search for stuff. I'm good at that, makeshift and stuff.
Ah, yes. You can be very helpful. Why don't you tell me everything you know about aquatic life? And then I go work on the in the engine room, see if I can figure out what's wrong here.
Tell me
As
about
you
your
kneel-
autistic fixation.
As you kneel to start working on that, David, you hear ever so slightly right behind you in the electrical corridor the trickle of a rivulet of water that grows and grows and grows. We are going to take a break. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. Hopefully I timed this right and it's during pre-roll and you won't have to watch commercial. Woo!
Woo!
Come on back. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks, y'all.
Water.
Hello, everyone. We are back with Mothership Alone in the Deep. Thank you so much for hanging in there while we took a little bit of a break. Back into the game, we're going to head up to Ezekiel and Gru. Y'all are sitting in the sleeping quarters, and you see the silhouette of Yvonne Mahone lying in her bunk. What are you doing?
I would say first thing Gro does is he goes in. He again is sort of messing with. He's probably fidgeting with his hand welder, just kind of like doing basic repairs, that kind of thing. And as he's walking into the room, he just kind of like bangs on the wall a little bit on some of the metal to kind of. This is generally how he wakes up. Mahone just kind of bangs on the wall. He's like 73 dives and you still cannot hold your liquor. And just hits the wall and is just continuing to every sort of like bulkhead or wall piece in between the bunks. He's just kind of hitting as he's getting closer and closer to wake her up.
Okay. And Ezekiel, what are you doing?
Ezekiel is rude as shit. Much like Gru, just walks up, kicks the bunk. Ezekiel's very much has been assigned so many times to go and rouse someone and get them to shuffle off to their job that now he just takes pillows, takes blanket off, just dumps people out of bed, and so he'll go over to the bunk and whatever is closest and grabbable, probably a blanket, just snatches it away. All right, it's time to wake up.
Okay. As you do that, you notice, first Gru, you notice that there's no rousing. Yvonne is laying there. The closer you get, the more motionless she becomes to your line of sight. And Ezekiel, as you get up there and you rip that blanket off, it comes away freely, fluttering out into the main cabin area of the sleeping quarters, floats to the ground. She's on her side, facing the wall. Her body's sort of slumped awkwardly. Her shoes are still on. She's wearing her uniform, coveralls, one-piece coverall with the tag. You can see she clips to her belt hook, hanging there.
I
No
mean,
response.
been that. So one, Ezekiel's definitely been that drunk before. Two, Ezekiel has also
Dead drunk.
seen many a dead body, and so he'll say more to himself than anyone else. Medic. And then turns to Gru, looks at Gru, looks back at the body, looks at Gru, looks back at the body. Let me consult the map.
Gru takes out his bio scanner, just kind of like very I don't know, practice. Like he's like, huh, and then takes out bio scanner and just kind of turns it on. I don't know if it's like a scan thing or if you have to touch the person with it. Okay, it's a scan thing. So he just kind of turns it out, presses the button, and just kind of like looks at it, waits for a reading to be like, are they dead or are they drunk? Or are they dead drunk? Or
You hear the echo of the beeping. There's kind of like a low echo that kind of like a low beeping sound that echoes throughout this entire chamber because of the submarine sounds. But the beep from your handheld starts to ring out, and on the sound ping as it's trying to initialize and kind of calibrate to the person that you're scanning. Ezekiel, go ahead and roll me a speed check, please.
oh,
Speed. So I don't, despite having read the rules recently, I rolled 2d10.
You sure are, and you need to get below a 36.
oh dang.
These
We
are
go
meets
slow.
it beats it rules though. So
Wait, so 2d10 and I just got to roll under my speed?
yep. So you're gonna roll your percentile and your regular tens die, and it needs to be under your speed.
Probably not, because that's a 7 and a 6.
So which one is your percentile? It doesn't really
7.
matter. Okay. So you didn't get doubles, which is good. But you are gonna get grabbed by Mahone. Your readout kind of goes haywire, and the screen starts to kind of glitch out on you, like it's like not understanding what it's trying to do here.
The fuck, I hit it. What the fuck is wrong with these?
The hand that is wrapped around your arm, your forearm, Ezekiel, is hot. Like it feels like feverish, like burning hot. And it's grasping you hard. She rolls over and looks up at you. Her eyes are worse than bloodshot. They look almost completely red, the whites of her eyes. Her skin is kind of this very mottled looking skin. It's like a medium tan skin. Normally she has a very nice complexion. Not necessarily the most beautiful woman, but good complexion, solid genes. Right now, she looks haggard, very worse for wear. Dark circles under her eyes. Her pupils kind of dart everywhere as they're trying to kind of recognize you and take you in, and you're seeing no look of recognition on her face as she searches you. You hit? You punch?
Yeah, I would like the hand would come out, grab me on the arm, she'd roll over, and I'd look to see if she was not right. I'd just punch her directly.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me a combat roll, please.
I feel like Gru starts to say, "Oh, hello, engineer, head engineer. This is," and then
That is a 15.
A 15. Okay. So this person launches themselves, uses you, you hit them, you knock them back down. They launch themselves at you in retaliation.
whoa!
They don't feel as strong as maybe you'd expect them to, considering. But she's on top of you, and her hands are in a claw shape as she attacks you. Gru, you see all of this happening.
I would try to basically pick up like Mahone, like wrap around sort of like waist and kind of throw her off. Like I think since the bioscanner didn't necessarily like read, or actually does it have a reading back yet, or it's just like weird, it didn't do it successfully?
It gives you like the first part that says human, and then it says there's like another little tag that says unknown.
Okay. So yeah, I would try to wrap around, try to throw her off of our good friend Ezekiel and be like, "You guys do not. This is not time for fighting. We need help."
Roll me a speed check, please.
But come on, dice, don't fuck me here. Ah! Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. 48 under 54.
Okay, so she got a 26, which means you do kind of get her for a second, but she pulls back and just like hits you, like with one shoulder. And as she makes contact, Ezekiel, you both kind of take this in at the same time. It feels like there's a surge of power that is coming from this person that is unusual for her build. She leaps off of you and onto the top bunk and hisses and stares at you.
Hell no.
She's on almost all fours looking at you.
I would try to, I would kind of like look at Ezekiel and try to start backing up to the door with my eye on the door, on the button that closes the door. Seeing if Ezekiel kind of picks up on sort of my intention there, kind of slowly back up.
How far away am I? Like, would I make the judgment of like punch and run or just run?
I mean, you definitely have room to punch. There's other things in here if you wanted to, like, if you were looking for something or if you needed answers, like you might be able to look through like these storage lockers if you want to, or you can leave. You've got this person.
There's nothing here to discover. I have found the most important thing in this room, and I'm gonna leave it in here.
Unquestionably. Yeah, if you want to try and punch her, you absolutely can. Go ahead and roll me your combat one more time.
Well, do I feel like I can make it to the door without like?
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, then I'm out of there. Like the punch would be just to be like, give me enough time to get out of it.
Okay. Gru, are you following?
Yes, I would try to be at door first and then like press the button to shut it and to lock it.
Okay.
And if it can't be locked manually, I will try to like pull off the panel and lock it another way if possible.
Roll me one last speed check. But you can use either a trained or an expert skill, whether you have computers or you have.
I have jury rigging.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Cool. Okay, so speed. So with that, okay. Oh boy. Let's see. How do I do math here? Let's see, plus 15. 16. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so with that expert, good thing I chose an expert one. That makes it a 69, and I rolled a 67.
Okay.
So got it.
Perfect. Okay. So as she's coming at you, Ezekiel, you can almost feel the heat radiating off of her as she tries to swipe at you as you move out of the way and just dodge at the last second. And Gru, you're able to just slam on the button and it closes. There's a little portal there in the door. You can see her peering out of it, slamming her fists in her hands. You can hear her voice. It sounds like Mahone, but almost like she's underwater.
What?
You can hear her breathing is like erratic and murky sounding as she continues to kind of stare and pound and stare at all of you on the other side of this. Help! Help!
I turn towards Ezekiel very slowly, and I say, looks like Gru has been promoted.
I just pat him on the shoulder and turn and start walking towards the armory.
I want to press the button, because I'm assuming there's comms at every door.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to press the comm button to the navigation room. Like, Captain, we have extra problem with Mahone. Yeah.
All right.
She's indisposed.
I told you to wake her up.
She's awake, but she is sort of look towards Ezekiel. What do we say? I release the button. How do you describe this?
Mahone ain't right.
Mahone ain't right.
Copy.
So Do you want Groot? Gru is now head engineer. No,
Right.
Is that
We'll
what-
discuss promotions another time. Get back.
Trying
Okay.
to make that move.
Get back here.
No one open sleeping quarters. Actually, can I? Is there like a comm for the whole ship?
Yeah.
Access from there?
Yeah. So
I'll just
it's gonna be at the nav.
Oh,
panel,
okay. So I have
right?
to go there. Okay.
So, but you hear it a second later after you hang up with the captain.
Okay, cool.
You hear him say, "Attention, all crew! Do not open the sleeping quarters. We have been breached. Do not open the sleeping quarters." So, back down in the engine room, all of you hear this.
Burton has been stepping into the suit that was given and is like, yeah, and so then like kelp is all well and good, you know, but then you get into like anemones, and they're this interesting thing where they're all
Yes,
this
of course.
coral. It's like not quite
Interesting.
it's kind of plant life, but it's also kind of not.
Very
it's also
good.
kind of and just go it, and then
Yes.
uh-oh. Do you think our crew quarters flooding?
Yes, I do. I think that we have been breached for quite a while. I have can I try to communicate with my bots?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me your robotics, please.
Okay. No. 90.
No? Okay. You try to radio down there, and all you get back is this kind of heavy static. It seems like the bots are where they're supposed to be. Like, you can kind of tell, like, spatially where they are as far as, like, you know, the ping that you have on them. They do seem to be in the right location near the ballast tank, but they're not responding to anything that you're saying right now.
This is not good. And I will try to ping them to come back to me. Like, I'll try to do what I did earlier and see if, like, without being able to communicate with them, if they can just return to me. If my bots do not return, it may be the case that I've lost them, and that would be very disappointing, very sad. But the great news is that maybe I can save all of you humans who I definitely like. And I will try. I actually have a short-range comms. Is there any chance that that's something I can use to communicate with the rest of the crew of the ship?
Definitely. Everybody would have one on them.
Okay. Okay. So then, in that case, Gru, company, what exactly is going on back there?
It is not right. Mahon is not right. That's what Ezekiel say.
Yes.
Ezekiel, can you describe what happened with Mahon? I thought she dead, but no.
I would go over and I'd like just punch the comm button a little too hard. I said that girl ain't right. And then would again just keep trucking it towards the armor.
One of my ducks said that she drank too much last night and was acting strange. Did she seem intoxicated?
Well, describe strange. Was she last night hissing like animal and very hot and had red all over her eyes?
No, she just appeared drunk and was playing solitaire, which is a terrible, terrible game.
Okay, I've not played solitaire before, but maybe it make you become animal. I'm not quite sure. But if it does, then that explains what is happening. We probably need scientist or doctor or something to come and, I don't know, maybe give tranquilizer or something. I bioscanned, but I think bioscanner is broken.
I think it may be wise for us to cut our losses and do away with Miss Mahone.
I'm gonna and pulls out med scanner and starts trucking that direction.
As you leave, you have Rig and David in your rear view there, Burton. David, that dripping sound has only increased. And as you look into the look out at the edge of this corridor into the engine room, behind Rig, you can see smoke starting to fill the chamber from the top.
No!
The water and the smoke takes me out of a reverie I'm kind of having. I'm thinking about just the robotic perfection of Rig, how it's possible to be upgraded to physically never die. But that noise and the smell of smoke kind of takes me out of it. Oh, it seems like we're taking on water. No, lots of water. Rig,
Yes.
are you seeing this?
Yes. That is why I have been so concerned. We have been taking on water. We have been breached. Now we have Miss Mahone acting strangely, animalistically. Could be related, or she could be the cause.
So you think we should take her out?
I do. For the sake of the rest of the ship.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm to keep as much of this crew alive as possible. Are we not aligned in that?
I hope so.
Well, that may be our best option. Candace, is there anything else in this engine room that could possibly be giving me anything helpful or any, I'm trying to figure out if I should stay here, if there's something more that I can glean in this room, or if it is no longer useful to me to be here.
So in this room, you feel like you've kind of done everything you can, especially as you start to hear the groan and the whine of the engines as they start to slow. This room is filling with smoke. It doesn't really matter to you so much. Your machinery can more than withstand that kind of thing. I will, however, need a body save from David as you're standing amid all of this smoke.
Not bad. 21.
21. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So the second that smoke kind of hits your senses, you jump right back into business mode and you duck below the smoke to keep into the clean air underneath. Rig, as you see David start to kind of recover from this, you remember that this room leads to the ballast tank, which is where your little ducklings are. You can either join the rest of the crew and meet up with the captain and kind of come up with a plan, or you can try to follow up on the little creatures that are not answering your calls.
David, I sent my little ducks into the ballast room. I think that if I go there, I might be able to be of use to the ship. Do you think you would want to go back to the rest of the crew and help deal with our problem?
Yeah, I think I will. I need a minute to catch my breath, and then I'll catch up with everyone.
All right. Burton, you should say more facts about the sea as you return to the crew.
Burton's like long gone. Burton heard
Goodbye, Burton.
someone's not well and maybe we should take them out. It's like, I get
All right. And then I'll head to the or I'll make an attempt to head to the ballast tank.
Okay. You enter.
Question.
Yes.
Is the smoke and water coming from engines or electrical?
Engines. There's a
Oh,
little bit of
fuck.
there is
Okay.
some water coming from electrical. The longer that y'all stay in that area, the more filled with water it becomes, and it begins to start to spill into the engine room. At first, it's just like a little kind of like maybe an inch of water on the floor, but that increases more and more as
boy.
you do that. David, please give me a fear check. Go ahead and roll me a fear save. As you're moving back through this corridor to get to the rest of the crew, the sense of claustrophobia just mounts as some of the lights start to flicker above your head. You can hear a very delicate splashing sound, and it feels like the corridor has lengthened in your dread.
I rolled a 48.
48. Okay. And that's under or over your stat?
That is under. No, sorry, over.
Over your stat. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take a point of stress. And then you're also going to roll your 2 d10 and try to get over your level of stress that you have right now. This is a panic save.
Okay. 27.
Okay. So you're good, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. As you make your way, you feel something touch your leg in this now 3 inches of water that you're standing in.
I immediately pull out my vibroset and prepare to slice down on whatever this is.
When you look down, the water is kind of murky. It doesn't appear as kind of crystalline as what you first saw when you had started the descent. You recognize that there's probably particulate oil and things like that from just the mechanical elements of the ship that's kind of being muddled into the water. Do you take a closer look, or do you keep it moving?
I keep it moving. I have another job to do, actually. I'm going to use my long-range comms and report to my actual bosses about what's happening.
Okay. Your long-range comms click on with a staticky kind of brief breath of life. This is a special line that no one else knows that you have. This doesn't go up to the Nemo. It's a link that's directly back to the people that you work for. You hear a voice. Yes? Yes, hello?
Plimpton. This is Plimpton.
Agent Plimpton, okay. Yes. What do you need? It's very unusual for you to be reaching out before the mission is over.
The Rimor is having some trouble. Apparently, we're taking on water, there's smoke in the engine room, and there's a incident involving one of the crewmates, Mahone.
Okay, oh, that sounds shitty, but is that really an emergency? Can't you just radio up to the ship?
No. I need to make sure that there's nothing I need to secure before I keep going. This place may be going down anytime soon. Sometime soon. There's large banging noises outside of the vessel.
All right, that's fair. Have you spoken with Kopotsky today?
Haven't spoken with him, no, should I?
He's supposed to secure the item and keep it for you to bring back. We didn't tell him explicitly who was going to be delivering this to us, but we did tell him to expect interest on the ship and that he would know you when he saw you.
In that case, I'll meet up with Kopotsky, no problem.
Excellent. Okay. Make sure that the handoff goes well. I imagine he's probably in his lab if you haven't seen him today. And if you need to elbow someone, out of the seat for the escape pod, just do it.
You know I will.
Great. I'll get with HR and make sure those policies are lined up.
Appreciate it. As always, I'm here to do my best.
All right. Over and out.
Hell yeah.
Back upstairs, Burton, you collide almost with Ezekiel and Gru as they're trying to kind of slowly move back into the navigation room.
Hello.
Mr. Hi.
We are very busy. Maybe you go and look at the. Do not open the door. Do not open the door.
All right. It's
Do we
nice
need
to see you.
what? I'm busy. I'm busy. You see that Gru is trying to avoid the talking with Burton and try to move into the navigation to try to message radio up to the Nemo.
And you all would definitely notice that they're leaving wet footprints and there's water clinging to their boots and pant legs.
Oh yeah, then 100% would stop you, sort of go grab your shirt. What water?
The engine room. I was surprised you weren't down there.
In the fucking engine room?
It's filling with smoke and it's real bad.
Oh my god.
But Rick's
dude.
working on it.
Oh, wait, who? What? Rig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's fine then. Okay,
I do think it's getting real bad. I think you'd be the bet.
Okay, Ezekiel, can you message up to Nemo, tell them what is going on? We need to start slowly resurfacing. This is too much damage, I do not know. It would be better if we start to ascend slowly, to take a long time. Radio up to them, tell them that we are having problems. Maybe they can send second tank or something out here to help or something. I need to go help. He's saying that as he's walking through.
You're heading to the engines?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've made it through the galley and into navigation. So
Yeah,
all this jibber jabber's happening behind him, and he just walks straight through navigation, takes the right turn, takes the door to the armory.
Okay.
No one's telling the captain what's going on.
As you walk into the navigation room,
Oh no.
you see the captain. He has not stopped pacing. He's taken off several layers of his uniform, so he's stripped down just to kind of an A shirt and his slacks. His hat is somewhere discarded. His fist is bleeding. He looks very stressed out, and he looks at you. Have you heard? Have you heard from Kapotsky? What's going on with Mo? I heard you say she's not right. I get it. How compromised are we?
I guess Ezekiel, you just took off to the armory, correct?
If the captain looked at me and was like, "How then again, going to the art, you hear as Ezekiel walks through the door out of navigation. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
He sort of tries some mumbling as he's still trying to walk through, but slower to kind of let the captain know what's going on. He's like, "Is something wrong with Mahone? She turned the animal, and I don't know, but she's very hot, not in like weird way, but in like skin temperature way, and I don't know, something going on with engines. I'm not an expert on people biology. You talk to Burton, talk to them. They will get something, and I go fix. There's a fire or a smoke or something, and I had to go there."
The captain just like peeks his head out into the hallway and shouts down at you, Burton. You ain't opening that door, are you?
No, sir.
What are you doing?
I holds up the med scanner. I got it. If I can figure out what's wrong, maybe we can inoculate or something.
Yeah, all right. He starts to walk towards you, and joins you in front of the door. I need to do something. I'm supposed to be in charge. I'm always in charge. This is fine. This is fine. Burton, can I tell you something, son? Can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
He gets entirely too close to you, takes up all of your body space, right? I don't know how to tell the rest of the crew this.
Oh no, you're
But
going
boy,
to tell us something awful.
I tried radioing to the Nemo. All I'm getting is static, Burton. All I'm getting is static.
That ain't.
We might be on our own down here.
That ain't at all good, sir.
We have a talented crew, including you. You're fresh out of school, right? You know what you're doing. I could trust you?
Yeah. Well, I'm more of a plant person, but. I'm gonna do what I can, sir.
He nods and kind of leans back against the cool metal of the wall, and you can see a look of deep resignation in his eyes before he kind of puts his hand in his waist and takes out a stun gun and says, "I've got you."
All right.
Can I say that I gave Burton my bioscanner as I was like kind of like push that into you so that you have a little bit of you have a scan of it already, even though I don't know how different it is from a med scanner, but I would like to have given that to you as I was going by.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I think so I have oh, that's a cybernetic. diagnostic scanner, so I don't need that. But yeah, I'm looking at like the bioscanner, and then just gonna try to hold the med scanner up to the door and like see if I can get. Is she still?
Oh no.
She's still like there.
She is.
Yeah.
She's not pounding like she was before.
Uh-huh.
You can see that the little porthole is streaked with blood, likely from her just repeated attempts at getting out. When you look at her eyes, like through the kind of mistiness, her pupils look like they're huge. It's like all black circle with a little rim of red on the outside where her whites should be.
Hi there, ma'am. I'm gonna try to figure out how to fix this up.
Oh.
I'm trying.
As you roll for intellect, go ahead and add your perks. Like your jury rigging you can add, I would say, because you
Awesome.
are trying to kind of grasp at straws here. You're using your country knowledge
Yeah.
to attempt to fix this problem.
Okay, so we need to get under a 60 and the other dice are in jail. That is a 60 on the dot.
All right, meets it beats it.
Ooh, nice.
You're able
No,
to kind
that's
of
a 6.
a 6. Better. Okay. So you look at the scanner that Gru gave you
Uh-huh.
and you compare it to the readout that you're getting from this other one.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to match, but they do complement each other. And in the scanner, you can see inside, it's like almost like a physical scanner. It's hard, like the readout doesn't seem like it's 100% because you're scanning through the door,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see something moving independently within this person. It tells you that there is a parasite.
Captain, I got some not great news.
It can't be anything worse than we have.
She's infected by something, like a it's not like a disease, it's like a parasite. There's something.
Fuck. Do you have, how do you fix this?
Well, if we had like a people doctor, we could like probably try to get it out, but I'm a plant person.
Okay. All right. Okay. We have a chef. They have knives. Do you need knives?
I've got a scalpel. That knives aren't the problem. I don't have the learning I need to. If we can knock her out, I can get a better read with the med scanner and figure out where it. Because if it's in a surface place, but Captain, I can't do brain surgery. Plants don't have brains. Most don't have brains.
Yeah. All right. I'm your captain, and I am ordering you to stand aside. We're gonna count to 3. We're gonna open that door. I'm gonna shoot her. I'm gonna stun her.
Pulls out their tranq pistol. I can help.
That'll be long enough for you to get in there?
We'll keep her knocked out. We got enough meds on here to tranquilize an elephant, I think.
Listen, Burton. Listen. I'm gonna count to 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Is it?
If
on-
something bad happens, leave me in there with her. The captain needs to go down with the ship. There's an escape pod. Only 2 people can fit. Do you understand?
Sir, ain't no one going down. We're.
Listen, we are past the point of optimism. If something happens, push me in there with her. Close the door. Get the others. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
On the count of 3. 1. He aims the gun at the door and waits for you to put your hand above the button. 2. 3. He attempts to shoot before she attacks. He gets her. He stuns her. The first hit, she stumbles back, but comes back
Hell
up
yeah.
again,
Oh,
ready to fight. He walks forward, stuns her again. Are you trying to get in there, or are you waiting for her to go
yeah,
down?
I've actually got, it is a trank pistol, so I don't think I have to be up on her. But yeah, I'm
Perfect.
gonna.
Okay. Go ahead and aim that for me, since it's a pistol.
You doing
I'm
a
gonna
combat?
have you do a combat roll, but because you're trying to do non-lethal damage, I'm gonna give you advantage.
Okay. Just for giggles, I don't get to add my first aid, do I?
You sure do.
Excellent. Okay, so that brings this up to a 43. I gotta get under. That is a 1.
All right.
Woo!
She fails her speed check, so you absolutely succeed. You get
The other
her
one was a
right in
75, so
right
thank
in the
you for
neck.
advantage.
right in the major
Yeah.
artery. You see her eyes kind of go wide as she starts to sink down and slumps against the wall. Her eyes close, and you can see that it doesn't look like she's taking normal breaths. It almost looks like her breathing is like out of time, as though it's just happening to her rather than she's actually breathing. The captain stands back and keeps his weapon trained on her as you do whatever it is that you need to do. And we're going to head down to Rig.
Yeah.
Rig,
Oh,
you,
no.
you enter the area of the ballast tank. This room, this electrical room, is filling, just absolutely filling with smoke in the engine room and the electrical compartment. The small door is a perfect fit. It's about like maybe a 5 foot to 6 foot kind of clearance to kind of hunch in there for an average human. Do you just pull it open, or do you try to call your robots one more time?
From the door, I'll try one more time, I think.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your robotics.
Yeah, that's a 60, so that's under.
Okay. Your appendage is hovering right in front of the door, like the handle.
Yeah.
And you hear, shh, hello? Hello?
Little duck, what's going on in there?
I think this could be fear. It's dark in here. We can still see. What we see is not good.
Okay, is it safe for me to open the door to let you in?
Don't open the door. It's
Why
not
not?
safe.
Why not?
I'll show you. In your digital readout, in your mind palace, you see just pitch blackness at first, until the screen sort of adjusts. You can see like the infrared trying to adjust to the area, and a scan goes out, a little ping, almost like echolocation, as it gives you a basic description of what's inside this ballast tank. When you are deeply submerged underwater, there's supposed to be water in here, right? It helps you kind of keep that pressurization and the buoyancy. But this is full to the brim. This is completely full. There's not really room for much of anything in here, and the water is being displaced somehow, which is kind of pointing to the leaking that you're seeing in different areas of the ship, specifically the engines. As this creature kind of swims a little bit further, this little robot duckling swims a little bit further to show you what's there. First, you see a bit of light, almost. Puncture holes that have come through the ballast tank from the hull of the ship. That's where all of the water is definitely pressurizing. And then you see a hand, an arm, a shoulder, a neck, a bloated face of the corpse of Kopotsky. Eyes wide open, pupils huge. His neck looks strangled almost, like twisted, like a bunch of wires and cables have been messed up. As it kind of goes down to show you the rest of the body, you see that he's still moving. Fingers twitching gently. Wrists. Small ticks in the neck. And right above his heart is a massive boil. It writhes and roils, the skin there looking super, super thin. You can't really see any colors because of this digital readout that you're looking through, but it looks angry. And every so often you can see like a limb peek out of the small hole at the base of it.
Is there, and this is not something I'm saying out loud, is there a way to separate any part of this ship from any other part of the ship?
No. The only part of this ship that separates out is the escape pod.
Okay. And I have one other question.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of what I just saw on Kapowski look similar or look like what I've seen on other members of this crew through the eyes of my little ducks?
So you think back to what the duckling had said about Yvonne drinking alone the night before.
Yes.
And when you see the little hole at the base of this like barnacle-y writhing mass, you watch as one tiny worm-like creature spools out of it and immediately starts to swim in the water. Its fins are long and flexible and thin. And you start to realize as you're watching this scene play out in front of you, there's more than one of these creatures in this water.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving in and out. You see one of them go into what is probably the hip of this corpse or this person, burrowing underneath the skin, setting up. And you think back to the defilement of that drinking substance, right? Whether it was beer or ale or water, whatever it was, something got into that glass.
Yeah. Little duck, I'm so sorry. Little duck, you and all my other precious children. The second there is an available hole in this wall, I want you to swim away. Swim far, far away.
We can't leave you.
I don't die. It'll be fine. I'll find you.
We will be reunited?
I will find you. Just get away.
We tried to fix the hull.
I know.
Middling results. They pan over to another one of the robots, and you can see that they did do a little bit of a patch job on one of them. It's been quite a bit of time, though. They're small, and you can tell that they've taken up a lot of their energy stores to try and patch one of the holes. There's at least 4 holes in here that you can still see.
Our mission is different now. You go swim away. Get far, far away from this ship.
Okay. We will wait for you, Rick.
Please do. Away from here.
We'll go back to the ship.
Yes, of course. Always back to the ship. I'm gonna get on comms. Is there a way for me to just call Gru? Or
Absolutely.
Specifically, is there a way for me to call everyone but Burton?
Fair.
So I feel like your system
Yeah.
is I feel like your system is going to be more like you can call individual people or you can call everyone at once.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, then I'll start with Gru. Gru, has the problematic member of our crew been dispatched yet?
I'm not sure. I saw Captain and Trace Burton going to the cruise. I am headed to electrical. What is all this fucking water? So I don't know. Maybe.
Gru,
What?
Gru, I need you to make sure that none of that water gets into your suit, into your mouth, especially not near your eyes. Do not touch any part of you after you have touched that water. There is an infestation in this water, and it has already infected some members of the crew. Those members are done for, and we need to get rid of them before they infect the rest of us. That is an order, Gru.
Is coming from the water?
There are creatures in the water, an infestation of worm-like beings. They will seep into you and change you from the inside out, Gru. And then you will no longer be a mechanic. You will just be, well, a vessel for more worms.
I don't want to be a worm vessel. I like being mechanic. Okay, all right. Well, maybe putting on vac suits would be a good idea.
Yes.
He actually stops because I think like armory is right after or right before electrical.
Yep.
I guess, do we have like underwater vac suits? Because I know vac suits is for space. Do we have underwater suits? Can we like switch them out if we have them in our inventory?
Yeah, so those suits are designed to keep you from any like elements, right? Because you never know what kind of planet you're going to, what kind of atmosphere it might be. So they're kind of just general vac suits.
Okay.
I will say that you know that once it has been punctured, it's no longer usable.
Okay. Did you relay that with the information and stuff that you saw, does it look like the worms themselves burrowed through the hole, or someone shot holes and then they came through? Like, does it look like they can burrow through stuff?
Candace, did I glean that?
You did glean that. When you look at the holes, they don't appear to be burst out. They appear to be burst in.
Okay, so these things came in through the ship. I see. Okay. Yes. So then I would have relayed that they can. The vac suits may help, but they can burrow. So we need to move quickly, and we need to dispatch anyone infected.
Okay, right. He was like starts putting on his vac suit and is actually, instead of going towards engineering, is running towards the crew quarters instead.
Okay.
It is like getting on the comm with actually directly to Burton. Like, do not touch the body. Do not stay away from the water. Okay, don't be dumb, kid. And I'm running that way towards them instead.
She's unconscious. We got her.
Don't touch.
You hear behind you in the hallway, coming from the mess hall. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Fucking no. 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 Fucking. Oh. Hello. Someone, please.
What? Like, Burton's looking at the captain.
The captain looks exhausted. His weapon is still trained on this person. He's looking at Mahone like she's not a thing, like she's barely there, like he's just staring. He looks like he might be in the middle of a bit of an episode. Yes, soldier. Burton, what do you need?
Have I had time to run the med scanner to like?
Yes.
Have I pinpointed, is there any one location, or is it already everywhere? Or is it in a brain, which I cannot?
You can tell that there's definitely one inside of her. There might be another in her brain.
All right, Captain, something's happening in the mess. I need... And I'm just gonna stick my trike gun in his hand. Just be like, just don't let her wake up. And I'm gonna go run to check on, I've forgotten our chef's name, I'm so sorry.
That's okay, Bjorn.
I'm gonna run to check on Bjorn.
Okay. You hear the captain kind of sigh with the familiarity of having a gun in his hand that's not like this little stun thing. And you hear him kind of settle in and sit down and lean up against one locker as he affixes his stare across from himself.
Oh, don't touch her. Sticks head back in. Don't touch her, and don't touch the water.
What if she tries to move? There's water everywhere.
It's a parasite, sir. Don't let it get in your eyes or your mouth, or...
All right.
Don't drink the water.
All right. You see him kind of like slowly look around at the storage lockers and then look back at you. He looks confident enough, but there's still a squirreliness that perhaps is not the best.
I just want to Okay, Burton does not close the door.
Mm.
As
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
You hightail it back into the mess hall,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Bjorn there. Their kind of stocky figure
Yeah.
on top of one of the tables. They have their cleaver out and like another knife in their hand. The knife block is all over the floor. You can see the gruel, the pottage that they were making is just like coming out of the kitchen, but like on the ground. And it looks like it's moving unnaturally, like writhing on the ground.
What in tarnation?
They look at you, eyes wide. It came at me. It came at me. I just keep trying to. And as they're speaking to you, one of them launches itself from the floor. And we're going to take a break.
No!
No!
Wow.
Candace, how dare?
Get these
Yes.
worms out of here.
It'll be fine. You guys are doing great.
Worms.
Yeah, it'd be good. Be
It's
good.
awesome.
Yay.
Stick around. Please don't go anywhere.
See you in a few.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. First, let's go ahead and shout out. We are running an Extra Life charity stream here. Thank you
Woo.
so much to Lord Richter 17, who donated $100 for extra fun for everyone. You'll be seeing the fruits of those labors soon. So thank you very much. And to everybody else who has donated today to help us meet our goals, thank you so much. If it's very much appreciated. Again, we are raising money for Extra Life, which is a charity organization focused on making sure that children's hospitals across the U.S. have what they need for the people who need it most. We're going to pick back up with our good friend David. David, you have traveled away from everyone else, through the armory, into electrical, to try and get down to the research lab. You were just here, what felt like maybe moments ago. Now the lights flicker even worse. A couple of them are off. It looks dark. Things are sparking in different locations around you. The smell of a sandwich, that's the best you can really kind of do with this stink, that's been fried in the systems. You can see the smoke kind of billowing out. It looks like Yvonne has probably hidden something there and forgotten that she threw some food back there that's now smoking and absolutely disgusting smelling. You can also smell the smell of her cigarettes very strongly now that this electrical fire seems to be on the verge of starting. As you step into this water, which is now about 4 feet deep, so probably up to your thigh, go ahead and make me a fear save, please. You feel something
Listen today.
relatively large wrap around one of your legs.
I rolled a 29
29 under what?
under 30.
Excellent. Okay.
Ooh.
This thing slithers. You can feel how slimy this tendril of whatever this is as it moves past fluidly, wrapping around one leg, wrapping around the other. Do you haul ass or do you stand still and hope that it leaves you alone?
I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna try my best to keep it moving, but I have my vibe shetty in hand, just in case.
Okay. As you're moving through this, the water feels almost thick as you're moving through. And after a second, you realize that's because there's more than one of whatever that is in this water with you. Go ahead and make me a body save, please.
We split the party, y'all.
Okay, I always forget to do. So 0 is what? 0 is a 10, right? Or no?
Yeah, so 0 is a 10 on your tens die. On your on your digit die, if it's the percentile die, that's 0.
I don't know what that means. I rolled a 0 and a 40 and a 4.
Okay. A 0 and a 4?
Yeah.
Or a 0 and a 4D?
0 and a 4.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so that's just a 4.
Oh,
That's
cool.
excellent. Yeah. You are able to kind of navigate around these. All your years of training doing the other jobs that you're known for have paid off. You're able to get in and out of this. And as you kind of move into the next room, you step over that kind of like threshold. It's like a little lock that you step over. You see this fin follow you. It looks like it's about the length of your palm and flexible and thin, almost like a dragonfly's wing, but like it shines in the light wet with this like slick kind of mucus as you disappear into the electrical room, the engine room. The engine room is full of smoke, but you remember to duck down. You're able to kind of get low enough to find the door to the research lab. Do you pop it open or do you try to like look into the window before you do?
If there's a window, I give a look through.
Fine.
If I can see through.
You can see through. This is surprisingly not fucked with. Inside looks like there's really no smoke. You can't really see any water, maybe a couple of pools here and there on the ground dripping from the ceiling from the other areas that are flooding in here. You can see, like basically, normal kind of beakers and, experimentation equipment. And you see, a bunch of different kinds of microscopes and medical equipment. No one is in here. But you can see a large kind of clear box with a red frame around it, almost like what you would put a fire extinguisher in. But inside of it is a large container that looks like it's maybe about 36 inches tall, like a cylindrical container inside of this emergency glass.
I step in with my vibe shade kind of tucked behind my back. Hey, Kapotsky, you in here?
Silence.
I kind of look around very slowly. Just kind of scanning the room.
As the door shuts behind you, it's even more silent in here. Almost suspiciously so. You're not really getting a lot of that interference. You don't really hear like a lot of the beeps from the sonar. Like this is a surprisingly quiet area. And within it, it's very clean as well, very bright. All the lights are on. There's white tile everywhere. Exactly what you would expect to find.
I step forward and head towards the box very slowly, kind of scanning the room.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit anxious, a little bit nervous.
Okay. You get in front of this box, and next to it, you see kind of a clipboard with notes written on it, all in Kopotsky's hand that you've seen many times before. And then there's also a little sticky note on the outside structure of this container. Do you try to like read any of that, or are you just grabbing the container and getting out?
Oh yeah, I activate my body cam for records, and I say, this is Agent Plimpton here, retrieving whatever this is. I hold up the clipboard and take a look at the notes.
So on there are several kind of days worth of note-taking. The one on top is just kind of plain. It talks about, y'all arriving on the planet. It has some optional names for the planet and the type of flora and fauna that was seen on the surface before y'all descended. The second sheet shows, the description of how it was going down in the first leg of your expedition down to the bottom of this waterbed. And then when you get to the third page, it's like the first half of it makes a lot of sense. It talks about something called a U-lock. And there's notes about a previous crew that was unable to retrieve this the last time that this area was explored. Reconnaissance had failed. And there's a note that someone is supposed to be retrieving it and bringing it back. Taped to that is a little digital kind of readout, like a printed kind of report on one of those like old school printers that you have to turn and crank. And there's a mission there from your bosses, Lodestar Technologies. It says, bring back one Yulok, more if you can. At least one, so that we know what we're working with.
I take a look at the box.
The box has a little handle on it. It's portable. The
Mhm.
outside glass appears to be unbreakable. When you get closer to that cylinder, you see something that looks like it has to be 2-3 feet long, coiled up inside of this cylindrical glass container, lurking inside of this murky water. It has a mouth at one end with sharp teeth, and as it kind of senses that motion, you see it kind of spinning around, looking and finding nothing in the darkness of the water.
I take a step back and kind of put the vibe shady between me and it just for a moment. And then I calm down. Thinking about the promotion I might get after accomplishing this job, being on the beaches, on Earth, or whatever vacation planet I choose probably after this, the bonuses I might receive, the cars. Okay, I can do this. And I pick up the container by the handle.
Okay.
I give a little shake, just as like an F you, just like, and I head towards the engine room.
Roll me a body save as you're leaving this room, please.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I'm rolling so good today. This is crazy. 16.
A 16.
Yo,
Just as you clear the door, you hear a hissing sound coming right behind you. It narrowly misses you as you shut the door behind you. When you look back into the room, you can see out of the pockets of Kopotsky's lab coat are spilling dozens of these little skinny creatures, these worms, sliding across the floor as the water starts to overtake this room. Please make me a speed check as you're moving from the engines through electrical and back to the armory. You will be at disadvantage because you are holding something
oh,
that is fragile.
okay. First one is 58. Second one is 68. So that's a 68.
Okay, that's over, yes?
Yeah, it's over.
Oh
Okay.
no!
As you step through the electrical area, you feel a bite on your leg.
Where's
It goes right on your leg. It goes through, like, right by your calf muscle. It goes through the layers that you're wearing. Are you wearing a vac suit right now, or are you just in
Yeah.
your regular uniform?
the backsuit?
Okay. And I believe vac suits have 2 armor, I want to say. Let me see.
I'm sure you're right. I think I was looking at that a second ago.
Let me go ahead and roll for some damage to see if I can get you. This is going to be an opposed roll. So go ahead and roll me your armor to see if you get that save. And if not, I will tell you how much damage you take.
Where's armor?
Your armor is going to be
Ooh.
under your save section, I believe. No, in your saves. So it's going to be that last one under body in your class. So for
Oh,
you,
gotcha. 40 for
yeah,
Marines.
I think you have a 40, yeah.
Which is good because I rolled a 3.
Awesome. Okay. So you can feel this bite. It doesn't connect with your flesh, but you can feel it kind of dimple the suit that you're in. As you try to move through this area, you get a couple more of those as you kind of like flutter past, trying to just move as quickly as you can. And when you get to the armory, you close the door behind you. You can hear the yelling coming from the mess hall. We're gonna flip back over there. Ezekiel, you walk in to this situation. One of those Uloks, you don't really know the name, but that's what they're called, has launched itself at Bjorn. And they're trying to fight it off. You see them slice one in half with their machete, but the other one kind of lands on its like on their neck and starts to try to move into their ear, their exposed ear.
No.
Gru,
So-
you're also there, correct? And Burton?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as soon as all this started, like Burton scrambled to grab their stun baton, but also like hit comms and like hit everyone. It's like, Mr. Underwood, Mr. Pilton, help!
Rig, do you stop on your way to the bunks?
Well, I mean, if I hear a commotion, I will. Otherwise.
Oh yeah, there's definitely commotion. That door is wide open. As you come up in the nav, like the nav area, and you look down the hallway, you can see that the door to the mess hall is open, and you can hear the sound coming out of there, and you can see the captain staring at Mahone at the end of the hall in the sleeping quarters.
I'm going to the sleeping quarters.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get to the sleeping quarters. It's very damp in here. There's a lot of water on the ground. It's clear that you're really taking on water at this point. You can see the beginnings of what looks like something trying to burrow in from the outside, like some almost like inner dents in there. And you can hear this kind of screeching sound, almost like something is trying to cut through that outer hull and is making its way inside as like little rivulets of water start pouring in through these little tiny holes that are being made.
In the mess hall?
No,
Inside the mess hall?
In the room, in the sleeping quarters.
In the sleeping quarters, okay.
The captain does not seem to be registering them at all.
And the captain is inside the sleeping quarters as well?
Yep, so when you walk up, there's like a gangway. On the right, you can see the open door of the mess hall, and right in front of you is the open door of the sleeping quarters. Mahone is sitting on the ground, slumped over, and the captain is sitting crisscross applesauce in front of her, staring at her.
I'm gonna make a big choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna kill them both.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna make you roll combat for that. The captain looks up at you as you stand above him. His eyes are huge, dark pupils.
Yeah.
Bright red whites.
Yeah.
He says in a drowned voice, "Do it."
Yes, Captain.
Okay. The rest of you hear the strangled sound of somebody dying. How do you do it?
So I did. I bought a vibe shetty, but what I think it is it's an attachment on one of my arms that I have.
Absolutely.
That I just pull out, and then it just has a little buzz saw that I use for fixing things around the ship, and I just.
It's like the electric turkey carver.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rest of you in the mess hall, you can hear this over the din, but just barely. You can register that something is happening. You know that kind of metallic hum. I think, David, as you're kind of coming up from where you are through the armory, you hear the clashing that's going on. You might not be able to hear what Rig is doing, but you definitely know that there is a scuffle in the mess hall.
Well, I've been in the armory for a while. Like Ezekiel has disappeared for a time.
Oh no, not that David. Other David.
Oh my
Game
God.
David.
David the character.
You know, I was really good. I was really good. I was really good for a long time. That didn't get my wires crossed, but here we are.
It's okay. It's a high pressure situation.
Yes.
David, are you staying in the armory, or are you going up to the mess hall, or are you doing a third thing that's secret?
Oh, well, the armory is right next to the escape pod.
It is.
In terms of the ship layout, I am going to do a thing in the armory.
Okay.
I have a radio jammer.
Yes.
And I am going to set it up in the armory.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a emergency beacon, and I am going to set it up also in the armory. It's on it's on silent mode. It's on like radio mode. Normally they make noise, but I'm gonna configure it to it so it's silent.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna head towards the escape pod with what's left of my humanity.
And who are you? Are you just jamming comms in general, or are you also trying to simultaneously ping someone?
I guess it wouldn't make sense to do both. I think about it. But what do I care? The radio jammer, it just jams all radio signals. So any kind of in and out,
Okay.
it cuts off.
All right. You get to the escape pod. You see that there's 2 seats, as expected. Maybe room for a third person. The rations don't appear to be enough for a third person for the amount of time that the small vessel is going to take to reach the surface. Do you just get cozy?
I think I do.
Okay. Back in the mess hall, Ezekiel, you said that there was something that you were about to do when you saw this creature crawl into Bjorn's ear?
So Ezekiel had been in the armory for like a time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very much you go in and there's like the weapons locker, and there's a 2-factor security where you got to push your thumb, then you got to put in the code. So you put in the code, thing went red, and he's like, wait a second, put in the code, got out a little notebook, put in the code, it went green, it still didn't unlock. And so a good chunk of that time was him with like vibro machete bashing the thing until it opened, and then shotgun comes out.
Okay.
And by then, apparently all hell has broken loose in the entire submarine while he was getting the one shotgun.
Unfortunately, yes.
Do I show up before or after? I show up right after Rig kills.
You are already in the mess hall by the time Rig comes. Yeah. So right before Rig kills everybody, you are in the mess hall.
Not everybody. Rig didn't kill everyone.
2 out of 4.
Yeah, 50% kill rate.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's tough because the thing is going for Bjorn's ear. And I can't shotgun it because that's messy. But going to try.
I support any and all options that you take, as long as they don't betray our lines and fails, which you're in the clear.
So I'm going to try and vibe shetty this thing before it gets a peek inside of Bjorn's brain.
Okay. I would normally give you disadvantage here, but because you are a weapons specialist and because you and Bjorn have a special relationship, I'm going to give you advantage to this roll to zero in on this creature. It looks small. It looks like a baby, maybe 8 inches long.
Oh, that's gross.
8 inches being small is a problem.
Okay. So that is a 3-4 and a 5-9. So a 3-4 and my combat is 42.
Awesome. Okay. Woo. Actually, technically, because you have the expertise, your combat is even higher than that. It's plus 20 to you.
Oh.
So that's exceptional. You lash out with this vibe shetty. They stand stock still the second that they see your hand go to your weapon. They can feel it crawling up them. And you are able to stop right before you need to, like, finish the job, basically, if you were actually going to end up decapitating them or harming them in any way. This creature falls in 2 and lands on the ground, and you see it eventually stop moving. 4 of these creatures are pouring forth from the kitchen, though. It looks like there's maybe 10 of them on the ground. One of them launches itself at you, and we are going to go into initiative. Initiative in this game actually works in rounds and turns. So your specific turns, and then a round is everybody going. Because there are 10 of them, I'm just going to have them move as a group. So y'all can just kind of act independently. Just say what you would like to do, and then you're going to roll your combat. And if you roll well, you go before the monsters. And if you roll badly, you go after.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, I was just going to say, apply shotgun until morale improves.
I got a thing that just says, "Is your morale improving?" And it is with you here.
Yes. Gru would like, I mean, so throughout the ship, there's just kind of like a low, like a couple of inches or like a foot of water in every single room now.
Yeah.
How many people are standing in the water right now? I mean, basically probably everyone.
So in here, there's about an inch of water, maybe 2 inches of water on the floor. Like it's not really rising quickly, but there's enough for these things to move around, especially because they're on the smaller side. There is one large one that appears to be just slowly making its way from the kitchen. That one looks like it's like 2 feet long. The flesh is like very squishy and gelatinous, almost like a slug, with like that kind of resistance of a slug, and it has twice the number of fins, so it's moving quite quickly.
So what I would love to do as Gru is to tell everyone to get on the table or get out of the water, and I would like to go over to like maybe the closest light or like panel and pry it open with my crowbar and basically take something electrical and put that into the water.
Gnarly.
To try to fry at least everything that's in the room, but I will do that only after people have gotten up on tables or things. So that's what I would like to do.
Okay, perfect. So let's hear everyone else's intentions. Burton, what would you like to do in this situation?
I think Burton is trying to back out of the room, trying to shout for everyone to like get out, but also has like the bioscanner up and is just like frantically trying to get information.
Okay.
But upon hearing a shout, will like clamber clumsily up onto things.
Okay. And Ezekiel, what are you doing?
There's one part barking at Burton, probably something incoherent. Mostly just mad that they're here and in the way. But also like one hand grabbing Bjorn and trying to pull them up like onto the counter. But then also shotgun another hand because we have not forgotten the central theme. And would probably be the last person to like pull themselves up onto something that isn't in the water.
Okay. So Burton and Ezekiel, both of you, please roll me speed checks.
Now, you said a 10 on the percentile die is a zero, right?
10 on a percentile die is zeros. 2 zeros on the percentile die is a 0. A 10 is a 10.
So that's a 10 on the percentile die and a 6 on the other die. So is that 116?
No, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 1.
Great.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. 10's place. It's a 1. Okay. So that's a 16. That's great, Burton.
That's a 64 over 34.
All right. Okay.
Neither of these guys can decide. Neither of them are neither sets are rolling consistently.
So I rolled for our young friend Bjorn. They were able to get up and scramble up kind of next to you as you're doing this like awesome Rambo pose on top of this table and counter. Go ahead and roll me combat, Rue, but go ahead and add your jury rigging.
I would not do it if Burton was not on the table.
No?
No.
Okay. What are you doing instead? Are you waiting?
Well, yeah, I guess since like they're struggling, then let's see, what would I do? I would throw my crowbar at the closest one to Burton.
Okay.
I'd be like, "What are you doing, kid? Get on the fucking table!" And let's throw a crowbar if there's one getting close to Burton.
Okay, still roll me your combat, but since you're trying to help Burton, I'm going to give you advantage.
Ooh.
Your jury rigging doesn't stack, but you still have advantage, though.
Oh, dang, my combat's not very good. If only. Oh, wait, no. Can I add my jury rigging to my combat or no?
So because you're not trying to use something that's jury rigging, you're just trying to throw something at this creature? No.
Could I use mechanical repair because it's a crowbar?
No, because you're not
Damn
repairing
it.
anything. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Usually I would say yes. I'm usually
Add
loosely
something for the magic of friendship.
Yeah, I guess because
Get the free Gordon Freeman bonus.
yeah, it's so close because I rolled a 37 and my
Uh-huh.
combat's 34, so that's why I'm like, I gotta get something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you get is you do slice this thing. You nick the side of it and you can see it kind of start to like lose some strength on that side of its body. Its limbs sort of flap, like the little wings and fins on it sort of flap uselessly as the other one starts to kind of go, and it starts moving in a circle where only one half of its body is really working properly. But the 2-foot one, as you're trying to do that, gets a little closer to you and starts kind of looking at you. I am going to
go away.
roll to attack you. I'm so sorry.
Are you?
Fucking worms.
This creature, with surprising speed for how like thick and like meaty it is, launches itself at you. You can feel it, kind of the slime of it kind of passes over you as it kind of grazes your shoulder. You can feel it on your neck, just like all that dripping water and like mucus kind of getting into your suit as it goes down in front of you. It's now facing you. You can see it like kicks back up on its like hind fins, and you see this kind of like S shape, almost like a snake, but slug-like in nature, and its mouth has tiny, sharp, needle-like teeth, just rows and rows and rows inside of it that it screeches at you.
Like
staring
a
at you.
lamprey or whatever.
Like a lamprey, yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Icky.
So we're gonna go again. This time, Burton, go ahead and roll me your speed, because I imagine you do want to try and get up on this table, seeing that.
I would very much like to get up on that table, please.
Fine.
Knowing it's a no, I can't add my hydroponics to this, can I? We're in water. I know water real well.
No, because it's not
Water knowledge?
this is not a hydroponics situation.
That's okay. It is a 32 of 34.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Woo!
You scramble up and your boot kicks out and gets one of these as it's trying to launch itself at you, stunning it for a second and knocking it back to the ground. You're able to kind of clamber up on top of this. These things look like they are trying to descend on all of you. Ezekiel, what would you like to do? Are you just staying put? Are you doing backup?
Once Burton is up, there will be some jawing at Burton for being slow and sloppy. And
Sorry,
then
I'm so sorry.
shotgun into the water. Shotgun into whatever creatures are about that are scurrying around the feet.
Go ahead and roll me combat, please.
Okay, my combat is 42, which is a good answer.
62 with your weapon specialization.
And that is a 37.
Awesome. Okay.
Woo!
So you are absolutely going to make that hit. Gru, are you trying for round 2?
Oh yes, would very much, now that Burton is on table, would like to stick electronic device in water to electrocute little wormies.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll me your combat plus your jury rigging.
Oh boy. Ooh, that's a 25.
Oh, wonderful.
Underneath
Okay.
the whatever the number. Yeah, it works.
Excellent. So the first thing that happens, these Ulex don't even get a chance to attack. They're all sitting kind of writhing in this, a little confused, trying to decide which one of you to go after next. They're unable to kind of pick up those heat signatures that they need to understand where you are above them, but you can tell that they're trying to figure out where to launch themselves next. You let off a round, Ezekiel. Go ahead and roll me your damage just to see what you do.
Yeah.
And damage on the shotgun is 2d10. So that is, so yeah, we're not doing it percentage, so it's just a total, so it's 9.
9? Okay. So this
Hell
thing,
yeah.
are you which one are you aiming at? Are you aiming at like the kind of grouping of them, or are you aiming at the big one?
Probably the big one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely
That-
a big one.
The shot kind of like just enters this creature, and it like almost looks like it implodes almost. This mucus goes like everywhere, not high enough to like get on you, but you can see all of these little kind of eggs almost that are like writhing in this like sloppy mess on the ground, as they start to sort of like attach themselves to the other creatures that are in the porridge and water mixture. You hit that hard, Rue, the electrical current ripping through all of the water on the ground. And after a couple of seconds, you see all of them stop wriggling. All of the things that are like moving around in this liquid stop. And as y'all wait for the electrical current to dissipate, you hear the buzzsaw stop in the sleeping quarters.
Well, we know that electricity works on these things. Where is Rig?
Where is
Lucia.
Rig?
Where is the escape pod?
The escape pod is under the armory.
And it fits, you said 2?
Sure does. Maybe 3.
2, maybe 3.
Maybe.
Yeah, third person who doesn't need food.
Yeah.
I don't need an escape pod. Rig is gonna try to find the rest of this crew. As I'm heading towards wherever I think I might have the best chances of finding as many of them as possible.
So you head to the mess hall.
Yeah.
You find the remaining crew member of the original crew, and then you also find your friends.
There is an infestation on this ship, and it has already taken several members of the crew. Ah, you figured out how to dispatch some of them. Very good.
Yes, some electricity, they don't like it. They also don't like shotguns. I point towards Ezekiel.
I think you
Yes.
get about half of that out before Burton just like almost tackles you in a hug. It's like, Mr. Rescue, thank you so much.
I sort of yank you away. I'm like, you are stupid! And I like hit you on the head. I'm like, what are you doing on this ship? You got out of this station, you come back to this shit job? What's wrong with you?
We're gonna. There's stuff down here. We're gonna figure out how to fix food supply.
You cannot die. You are smart, but you are being stupid by coming here on this bad job. You dumb. I
Hey,
just
now,
poke you in the
smart.
head.
Smart. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
All right. Okay. I don't understand the point of this conversation. You need to get into the escape pod and leave. As many of you who can fit, get inside.
Rig,
What?
as you say that, you notice that there is one person that is not here.
Who is not here?
David Plenton is not here.
Where is David?
I don't know. I didn't he go with you, Rig, when you were going down to engines or something?
Yes, that was quite a while ago.
Well,
He left after that.
I don't. There is. I feel like there would probably be. Ooh, is there on the ship, at least like in the command center or whatever, is there like a map of the ship and it shows like heat signatures and shit, or like where people are, like parts of the crew or something?
I think Burton's gonna hit comms. Be like, Mr.
Oh,
Planton, Mr. Planton. Does it?
No answer?
He is dead.
Well,
Would the
You don't
radio
have to
jammer
answer.
would the radio jammer break the comm?
Yeah.
Would it,
Oh,
That's a good
fuck.
question. I was thinking radio jammer from like the outside of the ship, but you're
Right.
saying within the ship was your target.
yes.
I guess if you like installed it into the
I'm
wall
gonna
or
roll.
something.
Above 50,
Okay.
it affects
Damn.
the insides of the ship. Below
Okay.
50, it does not. That's a 40 fucking 9. So you are able to use
Okay.
your personal comms, but they only work for each other. You can't reach anyone outside of the ship.
Okay.
Right.
Dang. Okay, so he hears us then.
This is David Plinton.
Sir, we don't.
Yellow?
We're there's we don't know where you are. We're all together. We're headed towards the escape pod.
Where are you, sir?
I've secured the escape pod. It's safe.
There's room for possibly 2 more in there.
Why is everyone talking about this escape pod? We need to, not everyone can fit in there. We need to make sure if ship can ascend. There's too many of us. Also, where is doctor or scientist man?
Crew. Several of the members of this crew are dead now. The ship is full of water in multiple rooms. She will not ascend.
I feel like with the knowledge of how many people and how many people can fit in the escape pod, is there some way, can I do like a jury rigging roll to like, is there some way to like close off the rest of the ship and like jury rig something where we can only have air in one room and like somehow ascend slower or something? Cause like, this is my baby, this is my ship. Gotta, like, I can't just like abandon her without even trying. So can I do some sort of roll to see if it's even possible?
Yeah.
To do any sort of fixing?
Absolutely. You've been with the
Okay.
ship longer than anybody. The captain has already gone down with the submarine, technically.
Okay. So then would it be intellect plus jury rigging or
Yeah,
strength?
I would do intellect, yes.
Okay. Okay, great. That's a 34 under a bigger number, but it's definitely, yeah, I get it.
Okay, awesome. So what you're trying to do is just kind of close things down so that only the armory and the escape pod have air. The rest of the ship is locked down.
I guess like I'm seeing, is it possible to do something to the ship so that we can ascend with the sub? Even if like parts of it are underwater or unsalvageable, can I make a safe space to where the sub can ascend? Because I know in normal submarines, if you fuck with the ballast tank, then like you can't put air into them and you can't rise. Is there a way to jury rig something so that we can rise, even though it's damaged maybe slower or something like that? Because not all of us will be able to fit in. Yeah.
So suspending the laws of science, you recognize that there's really no way to unfill
Yeah.
the ballast tank, right, to offset that. But you do recognize that there is a way to create more space inside the escape pod to hopefully accommodate 4 of you.
Okay. So then I guess I'm just sort of mumbling to myself, okay, maybe there's, perhaps we can make room for maybe one more in escape pod. I will go and try and
I can
sort of
help.
mumble.
And I'm gonna follow because I have scavenging, and we used to do this kind of thing together.
Yes, we will. I need this part. I start like listing off parts. I just be like, find it something that looks like this, but sort of more like a generator, but less like a
Okay.
comm switch. Okay, so
All
if
right,
we just,
yeah.
yeah.
David Plenton, please make me a sanity save.
Oh no.
Oh, this is bad.
First raw roll today. That is a 77.
Okay, so you're on comms listening to these people talk to you about what they're going to do with your escape pod. And as you're kind of hearing all of this, you also recognize the sound of crunching, like a crinkling sound coming from the rations at your side, inside of this escape pod.
Come on.
Because this Marine has failed their sanity save, you're going to go ahead and roll me a panic. If you get above your stress level, you're good. If you don't, that's very bad.
Above my stress level. Okay.
Yes,
D20.
correct.
That's a D20.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I was rolling some wrong dice. Yeah, I rolled a 3. That's definitely
3.
below my stress level.
Okay. So this Marine starts to panic. You hear the sound of silence for a moment. David, what fills that silence that everyone hears over comms?
Say one more time, sorry.
There's a silence for a moment as you're taking in what's happening to you.
Mhm.
What happens after that? What does everyone hear on comms as you start to panic?
I say, hey team, you might want to hurry up to the escape pod. Nothing too much to worry about, but if you could hurry up and we can get out of here, that would be great.
Yeah,
And outwardly panicking slightly, but inwardly I am just about to shit myself and screaming internally.
The rest of you hear this entirely too cheerful voice for the situation at hand. The rest of you are going, only 4 people can maybe fit, right? And this person is, you hear this, and you need to make yourselves a fear save.
But can I have my jury rigging to it?
You're in dire straits, so I would argue that this is at disadvantage for everyone.
Oh no!
Except for Rig, who seems to be okay.
But
And a fear save is a d20.
No.
Fear save is going to be 2d10, like normal.
Okay.
why'd you have to make it a disadvantage, bruh?
Yeah.
Right.
Because
I
you
would've
guys
got
are
it.
all with Rig, and Rig is an android.
Boo!
Fair.
I failed.
Yeah.
Same,
I'm gonna pass,
84.
but not by much.
Okay. Did anyone else pass? No? No? No?
Nope.
Okay.
84.
No, I passed.
84 is real far down there. Did not.
I think that I think that means that everybody who failed needs to roll me a panic save as well.
Oh yeah.
Good.
If we fail, it's just like normal rolls. When we fail, we add to our stress, correct?
Yes.
Not fear. Say,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't fuck me. Yes. Okay. I'm okay.
You're good? All right.
I'm good.
So
And-
you can take off 1 point of stress because you did succeed in your panic.
Ooh.
Now, so that's
Oh no. Oh no.
the panic save.
No.
Yes.
You roll a
Is it
d20,
D20.
and you need to roll over your current stress level.
That shouldn't be tough. Famous last words.
Don't.
You can do it.
Don't
Dave.
do that.
I just
No!
barely. It was a 5.
Yeah?
Oh.
All right. All right. So you are able to kind of clear your mind, Ezekiel. You can clear 1 point of stress. What would all of you like to do now? You know that something not great is probably happening in the escape pod, but that's also your only way out. And you still have Bjorn with you.
So
I
I would.
want to ask a couple questions real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First off, do these things? You said before the water is sometimes foul, or it's getting foul. Does it
Mhm.
seem like? Do I have any way of knowing, are these things like happier in foul water, or are they happier in clean water?
They are coming from the ocean, so
Mhm.
they look like they're just fine in any kind of habitat.
Okay.
Unless, of course, the water is electrified.
Right, that is
Mhm.
fair. I would like to throw on my infrared goggles
Okay.
as we're running and just kind of be scanning to see. I haven't touched one, so I don't know if they have a heat signature, but it seems better to know if I can see.
You put your goggles on. They have like a low level heat signature. It's clear that when they burrow, they elevate the temperature of a person who's infected.
Okay.
As you are running, please make me an intellect check.
Okay. I like these dice right now. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
Can I? Is there a
71.
help thing? Can I help in any way in this game?
If you would like to help Burton, you can kind of see when Burton puts the infrared goggles on. If you want to cheer them on, I will give Burton disadvantage. I mean, I'll give Burton advantage.
I was like, no.
I'll make it worse.
Be like, I'll
No,
sign
yeah.
up for that.
Yeah. I mean, is the intellect due to the specific goggles?
Yeah.
Or okay, I have the same pair, so maybe I'm just like, you put it on wrong, kid. Come on. Or it's like turn up the dial or something like that.
He's like, why are
Go
they
ahead
on
and roll
upside
again.
down?
Okay.
The upside down. You're backwards.
Much better. That is a 6 under 50.
Excellent. You happen to kind of take a look at everybody that's with you.
Uh-huh.
Bjorn is red hot.
I think like is gonna
Come
kinda-
on, we need to go. Please, can we go?
Yeah. I gotta check something. And we'll grab Gru's arm.
What? We got to
And-
move.
Sir, she said.
What?
Is there a problem? They look at you, eyes wide.
Rig?
Brew.
These,
I'm gonna keep talking to her. Sorry, this is my first mission. I'm not really good. I'm just gonna keep talking to distract
I
her.
don't have time for pleasantries. We need to go, please. Are we going right now?
as they're sort of distracting Bjorn for a second, like, Rig, I believe, and I point at old Bjorn, and then I'd be like, and if anything happens, make sure that Burton gets on the escape pod, okay? Good. Like, hit you on the shoulder.
Brew.
Yes.
You get on the escape pod with Burton.
Yes, of course. I'm just saying, if it, if anything happens.
Why are we talking about who's gonna go where? Aren't we all going to the escape pod right now? Can we go, please?
Yes, all crew
Ezekiel.
members should head. Yes, of course, all crew members should head to the escape pod. Absolutely. Would you like? Could I just do a quick check on you?
For what?
Just I'm checking all crew members before they embark on the escape pod.
I give Ezekiel a sad look as I turn away because I know they're kind of close to Bjorn.
Okay, I don't understand. I'm fine. So I don't understand why you need to. Wait. Are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. Look at me. My eyes, they're fine. I'm okay. We can go.
So Ezekiel would go over and like stand next to Rig and then say, "It's okay. Bjorn and I will be along in a moment." And then turn to Gru and says, "Take Cornbread here, down to the escape pod, and teach them how to cheat at cards because they suck."
A sensible
Ezekiel,
plan.
this is not something you should gamble with. And I sort of give like eyes back to Bjorn and back to him.
And I'd give Gru the like, I'm gonna stay with Bjorn so that you two can go, so that Burton doesn't have to see what happens.
I give it's sort of long look and then just nod. And I'd be like, "Get moving, kid!" And then sort of push Burton.
Bjorn has their cleaver out. You're not fooling me. I know what you think. I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere but the skate pod now.
Shotgun time. The second the cleaver comes up, just turn.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm hustling Burton and Gru out.
Ezekiel, you pull the trigger. The rest of you hear it ring out. Even you, David, where you are. And the rest of you feel a kind of grinding motion as the submarine sways and creaks. And you can hear the rushing of water around you ringing out in your ears, above you and to the sides, as trickles of water start making their way into the armory. We're gonna take one last break so that y'all don't get pre-rolls. We will be back in a little bit.
It's fine. It's fine. This is
Yeah, everything's great here.
fine.
Boy.
It's fine.
Welcome back, everyone. We are playing Mothership Alone in the Deep by S. Murphy Games, Mothership by Tuesday Night Games, and we are in the thick of it. David, you hear this rustling sound next to you. Do you open that little footlocker with the rations inside?
Oh, it's a footlocker. Yeah, David pulls out his Vibesheti and starts hacking into it.
Okay. As you start to kind of hack away, you hear a subtle hissing sound that increases in volume as 2 more voices are added to the throng. And one of them starts to slither out. It looks to be around 10 or 11 inches in length. And you can see its full row of teeth, much larger than the ones that you saw in the research lab, just facing you, pulsing in and out, kind of almost breathing, with its teeth refracting back and forth.
Is he coming towards me?
Right now, it seems to be just sizing you up. You can see the little flippers of the other ones that are probably inside of this rations area. There aren't any holes in this ship, which is good. There's a small, thin layer of water, just enough for them to have made their way in here. But otherwise, the pod seems uncompromised.
And I'm also going to size it up if it's not coming right for me.
Okay. You're in this standoff as you hear 2 pairs of kind of boot-clad feet heading toward you. Burton, you get there first. The escape pod door, the door to the escape pod is open. And inside you see, I imagine, David sitting in the far seat to the right, Vibesheti raised high over his head as they stare down at something that you can't see. They're breathing heavily.
I think Burton just is in a state of panic and just kind of shouts, "Oh no, they're in the escape pod too," and is gonna, with my infrared goggles, can I see?
You can. You can
How
see that
many?
there are 2 kind of curled up and writhing inside of like a larger box, which you can, just kind of intimate is a footlocker at the base of the escape pod on the floor. And then you see the one that's like 10 inches. The 2 that are inside of this box look like they might be a little larger, having gorged themselves on some of the rations.
There's 3. 2 are real big, and I'm gonna just pull out my stun baton, which I'm not great at, but I've got it. I'm out, like, kind of skids to a stop because doesn't quite know what to do, being the new kid.
Okay. Gru, you're
Hey,
right
Burton.
behind.
Yeah, honestly, that is perfect having stun baton. Just jump on something, zap in water. And Gru's what I would like to do, at least on the way, or if I was able to do this beforehand, or on the way, since we're running through the command center. I keep forgetting what it's called. Running through there, I would like to quickly on the computer turn on quarantine protocols, which basically shuts doors, or start. In my dramatic head, it starts slowly shutting doors and lights are turning red, and then also turn on maybe a scuttle protocol, which is basically blowing up the ship eventually.
Yep.
If we're all getting into the thing, don't want to leave these things alive. I don't know how long that would take, but I would like to do that.
When you go to that control panel, it gives you an option for a 5-minute, a 2-minute, a 1-minute, and a 30-second.
I want to look back at Ezekiel and Rig and see how long do I think it would take to jump into there. I'm fine with fighting things while we're in there, but
when you're in the navigation area, you go from the armory where everybody was running, you doubled back to the nav center, right? Is what you're saying?
yes, yeah.
So you're in there and you go to peek your head around the corner. You see the crumpled form of Bjorn. 2 of those creatures, one coming out of their mouth, another kind of bursting forth from their chest, as Ezekiel stands there, leveling his shotgun.
I guess I'll go for 1 minute. 2 minutes. I see everyone's face. 2 minute. Boom.
Ezekiel, you hear Gru yell as he comes kind of hauling ass into the corridor where you are.
To the fucking escape pod now! 2 minutes!
The hand of Bjorn is still kind of clutching at your pant leg as it finally kind of shakes free and falls to the ground as one of these creatures comes up out of the wound in their chest and rears back at you.
I mean, zombie rules. Double tap. I'm definitely... We're just gonna mag dump the shotgun into Bjorn's body and then drop the gun, switch to SMG, and then run book. Flee. Also, where's Riggs in all of this?
Well, I thought I went with Burton and Gru.
Right, yeah, you pushed
You're
okay.
bringing up the rear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ezekiel, you do that. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You're moving an unmoving target. These creatures are slowly, kind of sluggishly trying to make their way out now that their host has died. You do the double tap. It explodes everywhere. But you realize that you're standing in about a foot of water now. The last couple of seconds. You see the doors are starting to shut everywhere around you. It's moving slow. Go ahead and roll me a body save, please.
Oh boy. Gee willikers. Let's see, body is 35. And let us see. That I make it, that's 48.
Okay. You feel, are you wearing your vac suit?
I am wearing
Like heavy battle dress or
Yeah,
something.
you got the
yeah,
battle dress, don't you?
standard battle dress.
Okay. And what is your armor?
Checking.
For a Marine, it's going to be 40.
I mean the armor itself that you're wearing, that has a value too.
Oh, there's like
Your standard battle dress.
standard? Gives you plus 10.
Plus that,
Plus
okay.
10%.
So this creature lashes out at you, and you feel it go for your lower limbs. It doesn't get through. It only was attacking for 7 damage. And as you kind of start to try to clear the room, another one's going to try and get you. Go ahead and roll me your body save one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tired. These mother-loving
Wormies.
worms. My mother-loving son.
That'd be an 85. That's not.
Okay.
That's not good. It's really not good.
This creature does 9 points of damage. You feel the teeth graze you. And they are needle-like in nature. They are razor sharp. You can feel the blood before you even know that it scratched you. It's so sharp. And as you move inside of this final door, as the door from the escape pod starts to close, there's like a little antechamber outside the escape pod that has like your like decompression room. As that door starts to close, you barely make it inside. You try to give yourself a moment to assess your wounds. Do you tell anybody that you've been bit?
So I look at Gru, and then I look down at my leg, and then I look at Gru again.
Gru's a punk. Meaning he's not a science person. So he just kind of like moves in front of you so that other people can't see it.
And Riggs in there too, right?
Yep.
I think what he'd do is he'd unstrap his SMG and hand it to Gru.
What are you doing?
And then like look at Rig and then look back and be like, just in case things heat up a little bit.
Wait, I have idea. I pull out my hand welder, and I'm like, this is going to hurt.
Yes.
And
Good.
I look at Rig and at Burton to
Yes.
like sort of be like, can you tie this off or something wherever they got bit?
I will. Oh yeah, Burton. What do you do?
I think Burton is so focused on these worms, this other thing, that all of they're just completely oblivious to all of this.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I will. I don't even have to tie it up. I just have like a hand that
you
comes
just-
and clamps on your leg like super hard with hydraulics level strength.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll
that's-
me, Gru. I'm gonna have you roll me
Jury rigging.
with advantage and jury rigging. Yes, because you are using a soldering iron for things that it's not supposed to be used for. Go ahead and roll me intellect. At the
Okay.
same time, I'm gonna go ahead and have the Marine make a fear save, which means
And
I think everybody has to make a fear save if you fail, David. So
also, David, you took 2 more points of stress.
you did.
Yep, I added those.
Cool.
So I'm back up to 5. And then I have to roll a panic roll.
You have to roll me a fear save first.
Fear save. So that's a D20, right?
Nope.
Yes.
63.
No, that one's a
No.
D.
Two
Two d10s for fear, and
Panic
then
is
20
D20.
for panic.
If you
That's
fail
bad.
the
That's an
fear, then you
86. So it's panic time.
Okay.
What did you get, Gru?
That's bad.
I got a 47 under 63. Thank God for that advantage.
Perfect.
Oh,
Otherwise, it
yeah.
would have been like a 90. So.
So go ahead and roll me. You're gonna take 1 more point of stress. So that's 6 points of stress. Go ahead and roll your D20 for me, David.
That's
Ezekiel,
What?
excuse me.
that's a 3.
A 3.
That's it's definitely
All right.
under.
Yeah. Okay. So
no.
everybody else needs to make a fear save at disadvantage.
But.
Fudge.
Even me, am I in the zone?
Even
of this?
you.
Oh God! I already failed. Fucking
Fear
butt.
save.
Okay, that's
Okay.
an 8,
Okay.
and
Fail.
yeah, an 8.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Ooh!
So everybody who fails, go ahead and take an extra point of stress.
Yay!
David, we're gonna say that you pass out.
Yeah, got a blackout.
That tracks.
Yeah, you pass out. Everyone, you're able to maneuver Ezekiel into the pod if you need to,
Yeah.
but he's toast for a minute. Hmm.
So, I had seen what Gru did, and I had my stun baton out. Is there like a break between the water and the escape pod? Like, is there a doorway to where there's a break?
Yes. So you can, like, the escape pod basically has a whole area behind it that has, like, you know, your vac suits and all of your equipment. That's what Gru plans to pull out so that more of you can fit inside.
Yeah.
What you see
Oh.
inside of the escape pod is the footlocker right there in front of, like, those 2 front seats. The right seat is occupied by David. David, are you lifting your feet off the ground to
Yeah,
make
I mean-
sure that you're away, or are you trying to attack at the same time as Burton?
Yeah, I'm trying to attack at the same time.
I think
which
Burton would have yelled like, "Get up, get out!" Like, get out of the water. And
Okay.
Their batons sparking.
Okay, so both of you roll me speed. Whoever gets the better roll goes first.
Oh boy.
Better roll. That's a 33.
Okay.
It's an 11.
An 11.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, we like
Yeah.
that.
So let's resolve your move first. Then, David, go ahead and
Yeah.
roll me combat.
1 second. There we go. Can I use my close quarters combat with
Yes,
this?
you can.
Cool. Then I'm under the 54.
Excellent. This thing could not get out of the way in time. You slice into it, and it does that implosion thing where it like shudders and then pops. You feel kind of this like sense of disgust as you see the other one inside also start to kind of vibrate. It doesn't explode, but it does make a larger hole for that one to come out of. This thing is by far probably the largest that you have seen, other than the one that is secretly inside of your compartment. This one is about 2 feet long, 2.5 feet long. Now that it's gorged itself on some of your items, a slightly smaller one, maybe a foot long, comes out behind it. You can see them, Burton. You say, hit the deck.
I
and you
said, get out
stab?
of the water.
All right. Roll me a speed check, David.
Ooh, that's a 94.
94. Okay. This is going to hurt. Go ahead and roll combat with advantage.
Okay. Am I adding my hydroponics?
I'm gonna say you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can.
That's a 21 under 43.
Excellent. You jam your stun baton into the water, and you can hear these things shriek as they start to bubble up, and they start to kind of shake in place. All these like pock marks kind of like burst outward and explode in this disgusting mess all over your rations. You guys have no food to make this journey with. You're just gonna have to do the best you can. You see the body of David shake a little bit and go limp. He's still breathing.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And gonna like
he's gonna be taking just a second of a nap.
Yeah, gonna like launch themselves into the escape pod. Like, and I think it's about as they go in to be like, I'm so sorry, and like try to check on him, that they hear the scream from behind. They're like
holding a foot.
Okay.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I throw the foot outside of the door
What
before
in
it shuts.
Very good work, crew.
Everything has been locked down. You all can hear almost a quietness come over the ship. What do you do?
I think
Time
it
to
is
get
time
to
to
work.
escape now.
Yes.
Gru, may I help in some way?
Yes. We must get this area. Would it be like the antechamber or whatever, something?
Yeah.
We must get the antechamber ready so that basically we are taking it with us with the escape pod. So the escape pod will not detach what it normally does. We're going to be detaching from the sub. So we need to very quick weld this, and then we need to try to detach this. Good thing I brought my laser cutter as well. So I sort of pass that to Rig, and then I'll start welding.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'll have you the welder because you're a robot. You could be a lot more precise than I can.
Okay, you're gonna detach us, and I'm gonna weld us to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
pulls
So
out-
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So Burton does have scavenging, and a crowbar.
Mhm.
So anything Burton can be doing to help out. They're also going to keep scanning the area just to see if any of with their infrared goggles
yeah.
to see if any more come up. So it's like trying to focus on the thing, look around, focus on the thing, look around.
Okay. These are going to be homebrew rules. There's something that nods to this in Mothership, but I'm just going to go ahead and do whatever I want. No offense.
As you should.
Yeah.
So
As is your right.
what we're going to do is we're going to kind of combine something from Savage Worlds, which is a quick encounter. We're going to combine that with Mothership rules. So each of you is going to roll for 2 things. You're going to decide what you want to do. All of you have already stated what you plan to do, and it sounds like there are at least 2 actions per person. Because you have 2 people who are down, you're going to need 4 successes.
Okay.
Would Plenton wake up at least for a second roll since they were just shocked?
In the second round, yes, you will have
Cool.
your 2 people back, but you need
Okay.
4 successes to get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with Burton. Burton, you said that you wanted to use your scavenging, right? To try and assist.
Yes.
And then were you administering first aid to somebody, or was there something else you wanted to do?
I mean, I feel like after I know we're secure, it's gonna be first aid, but I am mostly just looking for heat signatures. Like that's the
Perfect.
only other thing I'm doing is to see if any more. I want to warn people if more of these worms come.
Okay,
There's
Okay, no
definitely
problem.
one.
go ahead and roll your intellect then.
Okay. And I can add my scavenging to this. You said.
Yes.
I can also add athletics if I'm prying stuff off.
Okay.
But no.
No? Okay.
61 over. Oh no!
Did you forget
It
to
is-
add your stat then?
It is 1 over.
No!
Oh, yeah. 61 over 60.
Okay. Rig, what
Yeah.
is your first action?
I'm welding this ship to the ship.
Okay. So go ahead and use your intellect as well, since you are trying to figure out the proper places to weld things. I'm looking at your character sheet, and you have engineering.
Engineering?
I'm going to say you can go ahead and use that, yeah.
Okay. Okie dokie. That will be under. I rolled a 59, which will be under a 68.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got 1 success, 3 to go. Gru, what are you doing for your first action?
Taking my laser cutter, basically preparing, like not cutting too deep, but basically like cutting a thing so that I can later close it off because I have a foam gun, which can quickly harden. So I'm making like a very like perforated paper kind of a thing. I'm trying to make that so that it'll be easy so what we can detach from this point.
Okay. It sounds like
yeah.
you need to work quickly for this rather than using your intellect. So go ahead and roll me speed plus your jury rigging.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I would very much rather do that. Is there any way that I can get advantage on this?
How badly did you
don't
fail?
have. I got an 85.
I was 1 point away from my scavenging. Could I have like loosened some stuff up, maybe?
That's fair. I will give you advantage.
It's like Burton's in the way, but also it's like, okay, thank you, move. Come on.
Wait, I have to do math. I got it. That's a 60, and
Perfect.
I added 54 plus 15, so that
Yes,
is
you're good.
Whatever numbers. I got it.
You're good. Yes, beautiful. Okay. David, you wake up to a buzz of happenings around you. Everybody is trying to do something. It is clearly all hands on deck. You do not see Bjorn. You just see Rig. You see Ezekiel passed out in the seat next to you. And you see both Gru and Burton doing what can only be described as their best.
What I always do.
I wake up very groggily, and my eyes kind of bore into the back of Burton. Burton, what are you doing?
I'm sorry about we're getting out of Dodge.
No, what? Sorry, what did you think you were doing? You could have killed me, Burton.
I'm sorry. The bugs were going to kill you. If they bite you once, it's bad. I didn't want to. But I told you to get your feet up.
And then you pulled the trigger before I could.
They was gonna get you.
You know what, Burton? Let's talk about this later. Let's revisit this situation.
Oh my gosh, I was so ready. That would have been so cool. Holy shit!
What do you decide to do in this moment, David? Do you just sit back and let everyone work? Do you sabotage it? Do you help?
Gru, Burton, what is it you're trying to do exactly?
We are making a bigger escape pod. It's very complicated. Doing this, I point at the rig, and I'm doing this so that it's like paper. You know,
Very
it's just
complicated.
plain nothing.
What are the odds of your success here? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
It's 60-40.
The 40 is the percent of our success, of course, but I feel very optimistic. I think everyone's working at top-notch speed.
I hope so
Trust
too.
me.
I really hope so.
If you can help someone, it would be very appreciated. Also, Ezekiel does not have foot, so if you know any sort of first aid or something, we don't want him to bleed out.
I can do
So,
that.
oh, good. Okay, go to Burton.
So, David, you kind of watch everybody go. If you decide there's something that you want to do, you can ask to interrupt, and we'll head back to you.
I want to check on Ezekiel.
Okay, cool. Do you have first aid?
Probably not.
That's fine. You don't have to have first aid to be able to roll for it in this game. You just don't get any bonuses. Go ahead and give me an intellect roll, please.
Is Ezekiel like conscious?
Nope.
He's breathing. He's just knocked out.
How funny. Intellect roll. Okay, that's an 8. Ooh, damn.
Okay, so you look at him and you recognize from your service before and things that you've done in your past that this is just a man that has been just wiped out from the stress and pressure of having a leg basically severed. The soldering iron was a clean kind of swipe through the flesh. The smell of that kind of cooked meat is in the air a little bit. It's a little bit sickly in this cabin. He's not bleeding. The wound is very fresh. He just looks like he's asleep.
Friends, I'm not sure Ezekiel's gonna make it.
What? Rude as shit. Doesn't look good for my boy here. Let's just put him out of his misery.
I'm not a doctor or anything, but
We can't worry about that now.
Let me take a look.
That's what Chris says.
Burton, we're back around to you. Are you administering first aid?
Well, Gru just said we don't. So I'm gonna look to Gru for what I should do.
Oh. Well, I mean, Gru definitely thinks that, like, getting us detached because the ship's about to scuttle itself. So, especially under all this pressure, we have to make sure we detach as quickly as possible. So whatever task, helping me or helping Rig, he thinks is more pertinent.
Yeah, like if we make eye contact and he points at something, Burton's gonna like look at Ezekiel, look, and then go and do the thing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me for whatever it is that you would like to do in this moment.
I'm assuming you've cut through stuff. Is this like, basically I can either do scavenging or I can do like an athletics to help like move something, bend something?
I would do your athletics.
Okay.
And roll with your strength.
Oh.
Because of the adrenaline that you have, I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay. Still not good. Still not as good as my intellect. No. No.
Not even with advantage?
No. My
All right.
strength is not good.
Okay.
It would have been fine had I rolled with intelligence.
You are successful and you get the piece moved. It just isn't fast enough to count toward your overall bonus, but you still get it done. You still do the work. It just takes you a little bit.
Yeah.
And you have left Ezekiel unattended. Rig, what are you doing in your second round?
I am. Gosh, I mean, how much progress did I make with the welding?
Really well. You've gotten all the parts that you needed to secure are secure.
Great. Can I do anything maybe to soup up the strength of the escape pod's engine? Like make it capable of the strength it's gonna need to carry this extra weight.
I don't know if you can, but there might be creatures outside of the ship that might be able to help you.
Okay.
What?
I see. I was like,
What the fuck are you doing?
I call upon the fish.
You rocks, please come.
Please. No, okay.
That's a closed comm channel, so the
Yes.
jammer isn't gonna fuck with you.
Great. So I'm gonna just peek inside the ship and make sure my cam like gets a good look around, and I'm gonna send footage to my little friends and say, little ducks, have you swam away? Are you safe? Have you escaped the room?
We have escaped the room. We are outside in the water, but we didn't want to leave you.
All right, little ducks. Well, we're going to get out of here together then. And all of my crew are going to escape with you, but I need your help.
All right.
This room is fortified, and it is attached to an engine, but it may need more strength. I can help from the inside if you can help me from the outside. Can we make this ship stronger?
Yes. We think we can do that. We saw some kelp and some other things, and there appears to be remnants of another ship out here. Smaller. Rimor 88.
I say that in one name aloud, like to the back of the room.
A ship came down here before us?
That's the name of it. That's what they say.
Because we're 89.
I believe that this has happened before and unfortunately will happen again if we do not get out of here. Little ducks, let's strengthen
Yes.
her up.
Right away. You hear like a scuttling sound on the outside of the hull of the escape pod as these robots start to kind of move around. Roll me robotics with your intellect, please, just to make sure, just to see how good of a job they do.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be a 66, which is gonna be under because it's 73.
That is a critical fucking success.
Ooh.
You got a 66. The
I
only
forgot
crit-
doubles are a thing. Oh
the
my
only
god.
crit in this game so far. You have gotten it unlocked. You
forgot.
You
Crit
hear
on the
these
duckies.
robots going absolutely mental on the outside of the hull. You start hearing like little zaps and little fissures and things like that. And you get the feed coming in from this main duckling that speaks with you.
Yeah.
You can see that there's all kinds of welding and things like that, soldering that's being done on the outside. Reinforcements are being done. There's like extra little panels that are underneath to kind of support the back end of the ship where that's near the ballast tank that might have had some holes in there from U-lock attacks. These little robots are getting it done. And you know now that like this is gonna be okay. You guys are gonna be all right. I'm gonna go ahead and give you your last two because you had a critical.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I can't just like make that only one success.
That's dope.
That does not, however, mean that things are okay yet.
Crew, this ship is ready.
Yes. Okay. What is all that sound outside? What is?
Oh,
Are those
those are
worm
my
things?
children. They are fixing the ship from the outside.
So it's not more worms.
Oh wait,
Not more worms. No, not more worms. Those are my little ducks.
Oh yes, because I've worked with you for a while, so I'm like,
Yes.
oh yeah, of course, yes. Oh,
Yes.
those weird little robots that come out of you and then they go and do
Yes,
things.
of course. They were working in another room, but well, you know, they were stuck and trapped with the worms, so they had to leave. So they're helping us from the outside now.
Okay. Oh, this is good news. Yes. Okay. Great.
Yes.
I just have a few little holes to make sure that they are secure, and we can get out of here.
Ezekiel, roll me a body save.
No!
Yeah. I mean, wait, no.
What does this mean? Go away.
Body save. So my body is 35. Yikes. That is a 1 and a 7, so 17.
Excellent.
Yes.
You wake up. Your
Yes.
leg is killing you. Like it feels like murder. But at the same time, you've had worse.
Hey, friends, I think I saved him.
Hey guys, I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh
He's gonna
shit.
pull through.
As you
Thankfully,
open your
I-
eyes,
Great
that's when
news.
you come face to face with David, who is looming over you not unnefariously.
No, it's pretty nefarious.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't all click into my head yet because leg, and I would look down and see that it was amputated, and then I would start looking around for my leg.
Roll me a sanity check.
Woof. Oh gosh.
That's a failed. 38, and my sanity is 25.
Take a point of stress and roll that d20. Tell me what you get for panic.
Oh boy.
You want to roll above.
14, yeah. So I mean, I've managed to clear it.
You look around, and I think your gaze meets Gru's, who just kind of shakes his head when you're like looking for your leg. Just gives like a...
They make good prosthetics. As I'm using the foam gun to do stuff.
Every time this has happened before, I've been able to get it reattached. But you leave my foot alone with cornbread for 5 fucking seconds.
Whoa. Hey, look, man. There was worms in everyone who was attacked by a worm got really hot and turned worms to chest. Do you want your foot that bad?
Just... And then it'll be like,
I'm sorry.
Looking at Gru, looking at leg, looking at Burton, looking at leg, just like looking at everybody from like person to person and then back to the leg, and just trying to make peace with like the missing limb.
But pulls infrared goggles down just to.
Oh.
You scan the interior of the ship. You look at each of the individuals in front of you. No one has heat signatures that are reading differently. Each person is fine. As you all kind of settle into wherever it is, you can kind of find a safe seat and detach from the rest of the ship. You hear just that grinding sound fade away as you start to make your gradual descent to the surface. About halfway up, you're able to reach the comms line. An exhausted pilot rings back, telling you everything's fine, saying they were worried, they were stressed, that you all weren't answering. They were going to send someone, but there's only 2 of them up there that were meant to be left behind. There's a feeling of relief as you crest above the waters. You're a little bit further out than perhaps your trajectory would have been, but obviously you're very much thrown off balance. A little line from the ship pulls you guys back in to the shore.
I will say, I do have my water filter, so we at least had clean water to drink on the trip.
That's what we
No
need.
food, but water.
Mm-hmm.
I believe actually that someone had 7 MREs
Yep.
on them.
Oh.
So
Heck yeah.
when you finally make your way to the surface, everybody's pretty much okay. All of those robots
If I
are exactly where they should be.
did I survive David's wrath? That's what I need.
David has been, and David, pardon me if I speak for you, have you been a little quiet on this descent?
Yeah, I think I have
ascent?
internally just like screaming. Just like, I will kill you, birds, and I will find you, and I'll rip your heart out. But on my face, facially, just very like, just, you know, we all masked.
As each of you leaves this just absolutely camel-looking escape pod that you have jury-rigged half to death, the last person to leave is David. Do you reach behind your seat?
Oh, yeah.
It's there, just where you left it.
I think about the big fat bonus I'll probably get from this and the nice cushy jobs I should get afterwards as I pull it out and check on it.
It looks exactly as it did before. Creature's writhing around, looking at you, baring its teeth when it realizes someone's on the other side of the glass.
I give it like an angry little fuck you shake again. I'm better than you.
You board the ship?
Yeah. And before I board the ship, I call in and say call in on my long range comm, say, yeah, the object is secure. Mission accomplished for now.
Oh, great. Just you?
Me and 4 survivors.
4 survivors.
Oh, well, that's the three survivors and the android.
Oh. I think we can actually double your bonus. You're saving us a lot of money.
I appreciate that.
Well, make sure it gets back here safely. We don't need anybody fucking up between, there and here.
I'll do what I can, which is my best, which is what I always do.
And that's why we keep you around. Over and out. We're gonna pull away on that ship, on the surface of this planet. Each of you strapping in to take off one last time and head back where you came. Pick up that money, pick up that bonus, maybe get assigned a new detail. Get a new prosthetic. Find a way to improve the little nanobots that you've worked so hard on, Rig. And as we come to a close, we hear the cracking of glass in David's quarters as he sleeps. No one around to hear it.
Yikes.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for playing with me today. I had such a good time. This was really scary.
Hell yes.
None of you died. I'm so proud.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
sure
so
tried.
proud. Everybody thought to put on their vac suits. I was really hoping you'd forget about them. It's fine. It's
I had
okay.
a hazard suit, but not a vac suit, so thank you, Rig.
You're welcome.
Really
Had to save
excellent.
my bro.
Ah, so good. Such teamwork. Such teamwork.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's go around the table and tell everybody where we can find you, all the wonderful fucking players. Oh, I am so lucky to have wonderful people here. Let's start with Mark J.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Mark J here. You can find me doing a couple of things, mostly at Apochromatic Unlimited. Once again, we are all BIPOC space. This came together to uplift other people of color in the TTRPG space. Candace is one of our admin. We do amazing things. We're planning a zine. We've got weekly gaming streams. We've got a bunch of APs coming up. Definitely check in for our APs, not to mention our ongoing AP. Find me there. You can also find me at Nunshot, NON-SHOT, on Spotify. It's my own podcast where I interview other POCs such as Candace, such as Ezekiel. Sorry, I called you Ezekiel when I'm looking around at you.
It's all right.
David, and the other cast from the AP Body and Soul. But I interview people and we look at the intersection between culture, race, and the TTRPG space. That is Nunshot Podcast, really cool. Definitely go check it out. Listen to a few episodes. Let me know what you think. And that's probably me. You can find me at More the Merrier on the Twitter. And that's all I got. Thank you. It's been a real pleasure to support this game. And I'm happy that we were able to raise the funds that we needed for the game. So it's dope as hell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next up, we have Adam.
That's me. Hello, I'm Adam. Yeah, I do the TTRPG thing sometimes, run games and love playing in them and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, you can find me on the internets at AdamSoWizard, and yeah, it's me.
Wonderful. Next, we have Dylan.
Hello, I'm Dylan, or Super Dylan, and I am an actual play performer and tabletop designer. You can find my games and my performances anywhere you follow Super Dylan online. You can listen to me on the One Shot podcast, where I host a new group of players through a new indie RPG every single month. We have a new one starting on Monday, and it's very good. And you can hear me as a principal character on the Atom List, which is a Starfinder actual play podcast that is very, very, very intense and very good. And yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Over to David.
Hi.
player.
Right. Hi, I'm David, one half of Chaotic Wholesome Presents. I am a TTRPG writer/producer. You could find me here, right here on the channel that we're watching, on Tuesdays doing the talk show with Kay. Kay and I are also playing Baldur's Gate Thursday, Friday, and we are in the laboratory cooking up a lot of stuff for you. So expect announcements. Check Kay's Twitter or CW_presents, also Twitter.
Excellent. And Kay?
Hey, I am Kate Purcell. I work in video games and do TTRPG stuff every free chance that I get. Like David said, find me here doing the talk show on Tuesdays. We talk all things tabletop from indies to intersectionality. Find me every other Wednesday on the Emergency Power Podcast, which is a homebrew Starfinder game where I play the opposite of Burton. I play the worst human being in the world.
They're just misunderstood.
No, they deserve everything they get. And starting this coming Thursday, you can find me over at Nerdsmith for the Grand Labyrinth Heist, which is going to be a really cool Victorian steampunk 4-shot. And Sundays, there's 2 more episodes of at Sword and Key. We're doing Trophy Dark, where I'm playing Burton with a mustache, so you know it's the evil version of Burton. So if you need more of this, that's where you find it. And yeah, more stuff coming out. David and I are building a thing, and if you want to playtest it, you have to hop into our Discord.
It's great. You should do it. Kay and David will actually send all of you a link to their Discord in our chat. And I imagine there's probably one in Twitch chat as well, in case other people would like to join. I have been Candace Magnificent. Before I tell you about my nonsense, I'd like to first say a big thank you to Kay and David for producing this for me and taking all of the guesswork out of all of this. This was made possible by both of them, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to my players for being here and sharing your talents and your expertise with me. Y'all are wonderful. I could not have asked for a better table. Thank you to Tuesday Night Games for creating Mothership, and thank you to S. Murphy Games for making this module. It was fantastic to run. I had a blast. Thank you, huge thank you to Domo Game, Jason. Jason Wooldridge is the designer of all the marketing materials, as well as this beautiful, gorgeous overlay. All of those elements are hand illustrated, no AI art to be found, and really no borrowing art either. This person just fucking knocked it out. So thank you so much for making something that I'm doing look even more beautiful. And then thank you to Tabletop Audio for these wonderful tracks. Kay allowed me to use their Bardly subscription for this, so thank you so much. A little bit about me. I am your warden, Candace Magnificent. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Twitter and Blue Sky, at Candace Magnificent everywhere else. You can hear me on Candlestick Crimes with Kay, coming out on May 22nd, wherever you catch your pods. Otherworld Hollywood, which is a noir campaign that I'm a part of, is finishing up soon. I'm also on Bloom and Blight, anywhere you catch your pods. It's a Girl by Moonlight podcast, and the upcoming Frequencies, which has been teased but not launched. Dylan is in that. That's all I can say about it. It's scary and awful. You definitely do not want to miss it. If you are an artist, it is going to fuck you up. It's going to hurt your feelings. So just jump in and get ready. You can also catch me next Saturday around the same time. I believe it's an 11 a.m. game Eastern. Doing some Savage Star Wars. We're going to be doing an all-black table over on Telltale Hearts. Telltale Hearts. And they are running an entire weekend, actually. It kicks off on Friday evening, so if you like Star Wars and you want to support a whole host of BIPOC players, please definitely tune into that. Like I said, my game's at 11. My table is outstanding. Very intimidating table. So come and watch me pass or fail my way through the galaxy. Until then,
thank you to all
y'all
who
have
donated.
A great day. Yes, thank you to all who donated.
And thank you, Lord Richter. We smashed the goal. We so appreciate.
Yeah. And please come on back here on Tuesday for Table Talk again with Kay and David. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone, and a great weekend. Be awesome to each other and have a good one.
Bye, y'all.
Watch out for those worms.
Yeah.